1. Understanding scam calls. 1.1 Types of scam calls. Scam calls have become a prevalent issue in today's digital age. These fraudulent phone calls are designed to deceive and manipulate individuals into providing personal information or financial resources. Understanding the different types of scam calls is crucial in protecting yourself from falling victim to these scams. In this section, we will explore some of the most common types of scam calls and how to recognize them. 1.1.1 Robocalls. Robocalls are automated phone calls that deliver pre-recorded messages to a large number of recipients simultaneously. These calls are often used by scammers to promote various fraudulent schemes, such as fake lottery winnings, credit card scams, or debt collection scams. Robocalls can be easily identified by their impersonal nature and the absence of a live person on the other end of the line. 1.1.2 Phishing calls. Phishing calls are designed to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information, such as passwords, social security numbers, or credit card details. Scammers often pose as representatives from reputable organizations, such as banks, government agencies, or tech support companies, to gain the trust of their victims. They may claim that there is a problem with your account or that you have won a prize, luring you into providing your personal information. 1.1.3 Government impersonation scams. Government impersonation scams involve scammers pretending to be government officials or law enforcement agents. They may claim to be from the IRS, Social Security Administration, or other government agencies, and threaten legal action or fines if you don't comply with their demands. These scams prey on individuals' fear and lack of knowledge about government procedures, making them more susceptible to manipulation. 1.1.4 Tech support scams. Tech support scams involve scammers posing as technical support representatives from well-known companies, such as Microsoft or Apple. They may claim that your computer has been infected with a virus or that there is a problem with your software. These scammers often try to gain remote access to your computer or convince you to purchase unnecessary software or services. 1.1.5 Charity scams. Charity scams exploit individuals' generosity by posing as representatives of legitimate charitable organizations. They may call asking for donations for a specific cause or disaster relief effort. However, these scammers have no intention of using the funds for charitable purposes and instead pocket the money for personal gain. It is essential to research and verify the legitimacy of any charity before making a donation. 1.1.6 Investment scams. Investment scams target individuals looking to make quick and substantial profits. Scammers may offer lucrative investment opportunities, promising high returns with little risk. They often use persuasive tactics and false information to convince victims to invest their money. These scams can result in significant financial losses and should be approached with caution. 1.1.7 Lottery and sweepstakes scams. Lottery and sweepstakes scams involve scammers contacting individuals to inform them that they have won a large sum of money or a valuable prize. However, to claim the winnings, victims are required to pay taxes, processing fees, or provide personal information. These scams exploit individuals' desire for financial gain and can lead to financial loss and identity theft. 1.1.8 Banking scams. Banking scams target individuals' financial accounts and personal information. Scammers may pose as bank representatives and contact individuals to verify their account details or resolve an issue. They may ask for sensitive information, such as account numbers, passwords, or social security numbers, under the guise of protecting your account. It is important to remember that legitimate banks will never ask for such information over the phone. Understanding the various types of scam calls is the first step in protecting yourself from falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. By being aware of the tactics used by scammers, you can better recognize and avoid potential scams. In the following sections, we will explore common scam call techniques and provide strategies for protecting your personal information. 1.2 Common scam call techniques. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics to deceive unsuspecting individuals and extract personal information or money from them. Understanding the common techniques used by scam callers can help you recognize and avoid falling victim to their schemes. In this section, we will explore some of the most prevalent scam call techniques and provide you with valuable insights on how to protect yourself. 1.2.1 Spoofing caller ID. One of the most common techniques used by scam callers is spoofing caller ID. Spoofing involves manipulating the information that appears on your caller ID display to make it seem like the call is coming from a legitimate source. Scammers can make it appear as if the call is coming from a government agency, a well-known company, or even a local number. Spoofing caller ID allows scammers to gain your trust and increase the likelihood of you answering the call. They may use this technique to impersonate banks, credit card companies, or government agencies, claiming that there is an urgent matter that requires your immediate attention. It is important to remember that legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone, such as your social security number or banking details. To protect yourself from spoofed calls, it is advisable to be cautious when answering calls from unfamiliar numbers. If you receive a call that seems suspicious, it is best to let it go to voicemail and verify the caller's identity through other means, such as contacting the organization directly using a trusted phone number. 1.2.2 Robocalls. Robocalls are another prevalent scam call technique that involves the use of automated dialing systems to deliver pre-recorded messages. These calls are often used to promote fraudulent products or services, such as fake insurance plans, debt relief programs, or investment opportunities. Scammers use robocalls to reach a large number of potential victims quickly and efficiently. They may employ tactics such as urgency or fear to manipulate individuals into taking immediate action. For example, they might claim that you owe money to the IRS and threaten legal consequences if you do not make an immediate payment. To protect yourself from robocalls, it is essential to be cautious when receiving calls from unknown numbers. If you answer a call and hear a pre-recorded message, hang up immediately. It is important not to engage with the call or provide any personal information. Registering your phone number on the National Do Not Call Registry can also help reduce the number of unwanted robocalls you receive. 1.2.3 Phishing calls. Phishing calls involve scammers posing as legitimate individuals or organizations to trick you into revealing sensitive information, such as your passwords, credit card details, or social security number. These calls often employ social engineering techniques to gain your trust and convince you to disclose personal information. Scammers may claim to be from your bank, a government agency, or a well-known company, and they may provide a plausible reason for needing your information, such as a security breach or an account issue. They may also create a sense of urgency or fear to pressure you into providing the requested information. To protect yourself from phishing calls, it is crucial to be skeptical and cautious when receiving unsolicited calls asking for personal information. Legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. If you receive a call that raises suspicion, hang up and contact the organization directly using a trusted phone number to verify the legitimacy of the call. 1.2.4 Government Impersonation Scams. Government impersonation scams involve scammers pretending to be representatives from government agencies, such as the IRS, Social Security Administration, or Immigration Services. These scammers use fear and intimidation to coerce individuals into providing personal information or making immediate payments to avoid legal consequences. Government impersonation scams often involve threats of arrest, deportation, or the suspension of benefits. Scammers may request payment through unconventional methods, such as gift cards or wire transfers, to make it difficult to trace the funds. It is important to remember that government agencies will never demand immediate payment over the phone or ask for sensitive information without proper verification procedures. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a government agency and it seems suspicious, hang up and contact the agency directly using a trusted phone number to verify the authenticity of the call. 1.2.5 Tech Support Scams. Tech support scams involve scammers posing as technical support representatives from well-known companies, such as Microsoft or Apple. They typically contact individuals claiming that their computer has been infected with a virus or that there is a security issue that needs immediate attention. Scammers may request remote access to your computer, allowing them to install malware or steal personal information. They may also ask for payment to fix the supposed issue or sell unnecessary software or services. To protect yourself from tech support scams, it is important to remember that legitimate companies will never contact you unsolicited to offer technical support. If you receive a call claiming to be from a tech support representative, hang up and contact the company directly using a trusted phone number to verify the legitimacy of the call. By familiarizing yourself with these common scam call techniques, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to scammers. Remember to always be cautious when receiving unsolicited calls, and never provide personal information or make payments without verifying the legitimacy of the call. 1.3 Why scammers target you. Scammers are constantly on the lookout for potential victims to exploit and deceive. They employ various tactics to target individuals and manipulate them into falling for their scams. Understanding why scammers target you can help you better protect yourself and minimize the risk of becoming a victim. In this section, we will explore some common reasons why scammers may choose to target specific individuals. 1.3.1 Vulnerability. Scammers often prey on vulnerable individuals who may be more susceptible to their tactics. This vulnerability can stem from various factors such as age, financial difficulties, loneliness, or lack of awareness about scams. For example, seniors may be targeted due to their trusting nature or limited knowledge about the latest scam techniques. Similarly, immigrants who are unfamiliar with the local laws and customs may be targeted because scammers perceive them as easy targets. 1.3.2 Financial gain. One of the primary motivations for scammers is financial gain. They target individuals who they believe have money or assets that can be exploited. Scammers may perceive certain demographics, such as retirees or high-income earners, as more likely to have substantial financial resources. By targeting these individuals, scammers aim to deceive them into providing personal information, making fraudulent investments, or falling for other financial scams. 1.3.3 Trust and Authority. Scammers often exploit the trust people place in authoritative figures or institutions. They may impersonate government officials, law enforcement officers, or representatives from reputable organizations to gain credibility and manipulate their victims. By leveraging this trust, scammers can convince individuals to share sensitive information, make payments, or comply with their demands. 1.3.4 Emotional manipulation. Scammers are skilled at exploiting human emotions to their advantage. They may use fear, greed, sympathy, or urgency to manipulate individuals into taking action without thinking rationally. For example, scammers may create a sense of urgency by claiming that immediate action is required to avoid a negative consequence or promising a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. By playing on emotions, scammers can cloud judgment and increase the likelihood of their victims falling for their schemes. 1.3.5 Lack of awareness. Scammers often target individuals who are unaware of the latest scam techniques and prevention measures. This lack of awareness can make it easier for scammers to deceive their victims. By staying informed about the different types of scams and their tactics, you can better protect yourself and recognize potential red flags. Education and awareness play a crucial role in safeguarding against scam calls. 1.3.6 Accessibility. With the advancement of technology, scammers can easily reach a large number of potential victims. They can use automated dialing systems to make thousands of calls per day, increasing their chances of finding vulnerable individuals. Additionally, scammers can target people across borders, taking advantage of the global nature of communication. The accessibility provided by technology has made it easier for scammers to cast a wide net and target individuals from all walks of life. 1.3.7 Lack of consequences. Scammers often target individuals because they believe they can get away with their fraudulent activities. The anonymity provided by the internet and the difficulty in tracing scam calls make it challenging to hold scammers accountable. This lack of consequences encourages scammers to continue their illegal activities, knowing that the chances of being caught or facing legal repercussions are relatively low. 1.3.8 Human error. Scammers exploit the fact that humans are prone to making mistakes. They capitalize on moments of distraction, confusion, or fatigue to deceive individuals. By catching people off guard or manipulating their emotions, scammers can increase the likelihood of their victims making errors that benefit the scammer. It is essential to remain vigilant and cautious, especially when dealing with unfamiliar callers or unexpected requests. Understanding why scammers target individuals can help you recognize potential scam calls and take appropriate measures to protect yourself. By staying informed, being aware of the tactics scammers employ, and implementing preventive measures, you can reduce the risk of falling victim to their schemes. In the following sections, we will explore various strategies and techniques to protect your personal information, identify scam callers, respond to scam calls, and more. 1.4 Recognizing scam call patterns. Recognizing scam call patterns is crucial in protecting yourself from falling victim to fraudsters. Scammers employ various tactics to deceive and manipulate their targets, but by understanding the common patterns they use, you can become more adept at identifying and avoiding scam calls. In this section, we will explore some of the key scam call patterns to watch out for. 1.4.1 High-pressure tactics. One common scam call pattern involves the use of high-pressure tactics to create a sense of urgency and panic in the victim. Scammers often claim that immediate action is required, such as threatening legal consequences or demanding immediate payment. They may try to rush you into making a decision without giving you time to think or verify the legitimacy of their claims. Remember, legitimate organizations will never pressure you into making hasty decisions or divulging personal information over the phone. 1.4.2 Impersonation of trusted entities. Scammers frequently impersonate trusted entities, such as government agencies, financial institutions, or well-known companies, to gain your trust and manipulate you into providing sensitive information. They may use official-sounding names or spoof caller IDs to make it appear as though the call is coming from a legitimate source. It's important to remember that reputable organizations will never ask for personal information or payment details over the phone. If you receive a call requesting such information, it's best to hang up and contact the organization directly using a verified phone number. 1.4.3 Unsolicited offers and prizes. Another scam call pattern involves unsolicited offers and prizes. Scammers may claim that you have won a lottery, sweepstakes, or a valuable prize, but in order to claim it, they require you to provide personal information or make a payment. Be cautious of any unexpected calls offering prizes or deals that seem too good to be true. Legitimate organizations typically do not contact individuals out of the blue to offer such rewards, so it's important to exercise skepticism and refrain from sharing any personal information or sending money. 1.4.4 Requests for immediate payment. Scammers often target individuals by posing as debt collectors or utility company representatives, demanding immediate payment for overdue bills or outstanding debts. They may threaten to cut off services or take legal action if payment is not made promptly. It's important to remember that legitimate organizations will provide written notices and ample time to settle any outstanding payments. If you receive a call demanding immediate payment, it's best to hang up and contact the organization directly to verify the legitimacy of the claim. 1.4.5 Requests for personal information. Scammers frequently attempt to extract personal information from their targets, such as social security numbers, bank account details, or passwords. They may pose as representatives from financial institutions, government agencies, or even tech support, claiming that they need your information to resolve an issue or provide assistance. It's crucial to remember that reputable organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. If you receive such a request, it's best to hang up and contact the organization directly using a verified phone number. 1.4.6 Threats and intimidation. Some scammers resort to threats and intimidation to manipulate their victims. They may claim to have incriminating evidence or personal information that they will expose unless a payment is made. It's important to remain calm and not succumb to their tactics. Remember, legitimate organizations do not engage in such behavior. If you receive a call with threats or intimidation, it's best to hang up and report the incident to the appropriate authorities. 1.4.7 Inconsistent or suspicious information. Scammers often provide inconsistent or suspicious information during their calls. They may change their story, provide vague details, or refuse to answer specific questions. Pay attention to any red flags that indicate the call may be a scam. Trust your instincts and be wary of any inconsistencies or evasive behavior from the caller. 1.4.8 Unusual payment methods. Scammers may request payment through unconventional methods, such as wire transfers, prepaid debit cards, or cryptocurrency. These payment methods are often preferred by scammers because they are difficult to trace and recover. Legitimate organizations typically offer more secure and traditional payment options. If a caller insists on an unusual payment method, it's a strong indication of a scam. By familiarizing yourself with these scam call patterns, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to fraudsters. Remember to always be cautious, trust your instincts, and never provide personal information or payment details over the phone unless you have verified the legitimacy of the call. 2. Protecting your personal information. 2.1 Keeping your phone number private. In today's digital age, our phone numbers have become a valuable piece of personal information. Scammers and telemarketers are constantly on the lookout for phone numbers to target individuals with their fraudulent schemes. Therefore, it is crucial to take steps to keep your phone number private and protect yourself from unwanted scam calls. This section will provide you with practical tips and strategies to safeguard your phone number and minimize the risk of falling victim to scam callers. 2.1.1 Be cautious when sharing your phone number. One of the most effective ways to keep your phone number private is to be cautious about who you share it with. Here are some guidelines to follow. Limit sharing on public platforms. Avoid posting your phone number on social media platforms or public forums where it can be easily accessed by scammers. Be mindful of the information you share online and consider the potential consequences. Opt out of directories. Check if your phone number is listed in public directories, both online and offline. If it is, contact the directory provider to have your number removed or made unlisted. Use discretion when filling out forms. When filling out forms, whether online or offline, carefully evaluate whether providing your phone number is necessary. If it is not required, consider leaving that field blank or using an alternative contact method. Be cautious with online purchases. When making online purchases, be cautious about providing your phone number unless it is essential for the transaction. Look for reputable websites that prioritize customer privacy and security. 2.1.2 Utilize privacy settings on your devices and apps. Modern smartphones and communication apps offer various privacy settings that can help you maintain control over who can access your phone number. Consider the following. Adjust privacy settings on social media. Review the privacy settings on your social media accounts and ensure that your phone number is not visible to the public or to individuals you do not know. Restrict access to your personal information as much as possible. Manage app permissions. Regularly review the permissions granted to apps on your smartphone. Some apps may request access to your contacts or phone number, even if it is not necessary for their functionality. Be selective in granting these permissions and revoke them if they are not essential. Enable two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security to your accounts by requiring a verification code sent to your phone number. This helps prevent unauthorized access to your accounts, even if your password is compromised. 2.1.3 Consider alternative communication methods. If you are concerned about keeping your phone number private, you may want to explore alternative communication methods that do not require sharing your phone number. Here are a few options to consider. Virtual phone numbers. Virtual phone numbers are temporary or disposable numbers that can be used for specific purposes, such as online purchases or signing up for services. These numbers can help protect your privacy by keeping your actual phone number hidden. VoIP services. Voice over Internet Protocol (VoIP) services allow you to make calls using the Internet instead of a traditional phone line. Some VoIP services provide the option to use a different phone number or mask your actual number when making calls. Messaging apps. Messaging apps like WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram offer end-to-end encryption and can be used as an alternative to traditional phone calls. These apps often require only a username or email address to communicate, keeping your phone number private. 2.1.4 Be cautious of caller ID spoofing. Caller ID spoofing is a technique used by scammers to manipulate the information displayed on your caller ID, making it appear as if the call is coming from a different number. To protect yourself from this tactic, don't trust caller ID alone. Even if the caller ID displays a familiar number or a legitimate organization, it does not guarantee the authenticity of the call. Scammers can easily manipulate the caller ID information to deceive you. Verify the caller independently. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a company or organization, hang up and independently verify their identity. Use official contact information from their website or other trusted sources to reach out and confirm the legitimacy of the call. By implementing these strategies and being mindful of who has access to your phone number, you can significantly reduce the risk of receiving scam calls. Remember, protecting your personal information is an ongoing process, so stay vigilant and adapt to new privacy threats as they emerge. 2.2 Avoiding sharing personal information. In order to protect yourself from scam callers, it is crucial to be cautious about sharing personal information. Scammers often rely on obtaining sensitive data from unsuspecting individuals to carry out their fraudulent activities. By following some simple guidelines and being aware of potential risks, you can significantly reduce the chances of falling victim to these scams. 2.2.1 Be mindful of unsolicited calls. One of the most important steps in avoiding sharing personal information with scam callers is to be cautious of unsolicited calls. Scammers often pose as representatives from legitimate organizations or government agencies to gain your trust. They may claim to be from your bank, credit card company, or even the IRS. Remember that legitimate organizations typically do not call you out of the blue to request personal information. If you receive an unsolicited call asking for personal information, it is best to be skeptical and avoid sharing any sensitive data. Instead, hang up and contact the organization directly using their official contact information to verify the legitimacy of the call. 2.2.2 Never share personal information over the phone. A golden rule to follow when dealing with scam callers is to never share personal information over the phone. This includes sensitive details such as your social security number, bank account numbers, credit card information, or passwords. Legitimate organizations will never ask you to provide this information over the phone, especially if they initiated the call. If a caller requests any personal information, politely decline and end the conversation. It is always better to err on the side of caution and protect your personal data. 2.2.3 Be wary of caller ID spoofing. Caller ID spoofing is a technique commonly used by scammers to manipulate the information displayed on your caller ID. They can make it appear as if the call is coming from a legitimate organization or even a local number. This deceptive tactic aims to gain your trust and make you more likely to share personal information. To avoid falling victim to caller ID spoofing, it is important to be skeptical of any unexpected calls, even if the caller ID seems familiar. If you receive a call from a number you don't recognize, it is best to let it go to voicemail. If it is important, the caller will leave a message and you can return the call using the official contact information of the organization. 2.2.4 Be cautious of impersonation scams. Scammers often impersonate trusted organizations or individuals to trick you into sharing personal information. They may claim to be from your bank, a government agency, or a well-known company. These impersonation scams can be convincing, as scammers may have access to some of your personal details obtained through data breaches or other means. To avoid falling for impersonation scams, it is important to verify the identity of the caller before sharing any personal information. Ask for their name, department, and a callback number. Then, independently verify the information by contacting the organization directly using their official contact information. This extra step can help ensure that you are speaking with a legitimate representative. 2.2.5 Be cautious of sharing information online. Scammers not only target individuals through phone calls but also through online platforms. It is important to be cautious when sharing personal information online, especially on social media platforms. Scammers can use the information you share online to build a profile and target you with more personalized scams. Avoid sharing sensitive information such as your full name, address, phone number, or birth date on public platforms. Adjust your privacy settings to limit the visibility of your personal information to only trusted individuals. Be wary of friend requests or messages from unknown individuals, as they may be attempting to gather personal information. 2.2.6 Use secure websites and Wi-Fi networks. When sharing personal information online, it is crucial to ensure that you are using secure websites and Wi-Fi networks. Look for the padlock symbol in the address bar of your browser, indicating that the website is using encryption to protect your data. Avoid entering personal information on websites that do not have this symbol. Additionally, be cautious when using public Wi-Fi networks, as they can be vulnerable to hackers. Avoid accessing or sharing personal information when connected to public Wi-Fi networks, especially if they are unsecured. Instead, use a trusted virtual private network (VPN) to encrypt your internet connection and protect your data. 2.2.7 Educate yourself and spread awareness. One of the most effective ways to protect yourself and others from sharing personal information with scam callers is to educate yourself and spread awareness. Stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and share this knowledge with your friends, family, and community. By educating others about the risks and warning signs of scam calls, you can help create a network of vigilant individuals who are less likely to fall victim to these scams. Encourage others to be cautious when sharing personal information and to verify the legitimacy of any unexpected calls or requests for sensitive data. Remember, protecting your personal information is crucial in the fight against scam callers. By being cautious, skeptical, and informed, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to these fraudulent activities. 2.3 Securing your online presence. In today's digital age, securing your online presence is crucial in protecting yourself from scam callers. Scammers often exploit vulnerabilities in online platforms to gather personal information and use it for fraudulent activities. By taking proactive measures to secure your online presence, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to scam calls. This section will provide you with essential tips and strategies to safeguard your online identity and minimize the chances of scammers targeting you. 2.3.1 Strengthening passwords. One of the first steps in securing your online presence is to create strong and unique passwords for all your online accounts. Weak passwords make it easier for scammers to gain unauthorized access to your personal information. When creating passwords, ensure they are at least 8 characters long and include a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Avoid using easily guessable information such as your name, birth date, or common words. Additionally, it is crucial to use different passwords for each online account to prevent a single data breach from compromising multiple accounts. 2.3.2 Enabling two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication (2FA) adds an extra layer of security to your online accounts by requiring a second form of verification, usually a unique code sent to your mobile device, in addition to your password. By enabling 2FA, even if scammers manage to obtain your password, they would still need physical access to your mobile device to gain entry. Many online platforms, including email providers, social media networks, and financial institutions, offer 2FA as an option. It is highly recommended to enable this feature wherever possible to enhance the security of your online presence. 2.3.3 Regularly updating software and applications. Keeping your software and applications up to date is essential in maintaining a secure online presence. Developers frequently release updates that address security vulnerabilities and patch any loopholes that scammers may exploit. Enable automatic updates on your devices to ensure you receive the latest security patches promptly. Additionally, regularly check for updates manually, especially for critical applications such as your operating system, web browser, and antivirus software. 2.3.4 Being cautious with social media. Social media platforms have become a treasure trove of personal information for scammers. Exercise caution when sharing personal details, such as your full name, address, phone number, or birth date, on social media. Adjust your privacy settings to limit the visibility of your posts and personal information to only trusted friends and connections. Be mindful of the information you share publicly, as scammers can use it to impersonate you or gather information for targeted scam calls. 2.3.5 Avoiding suspicious websites and links. Scammers often use phishing techniques to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information. Be cautious when clicking on links in emails, text messages, or social media posts, especially if they come from unknown or suspicious sources. Verify the legitimacy of the website or link before providing any personal information. Look for secure website indicators such as https:// and a padlock symbol in the address bar. If in doubt, it is always safer to directly navigate to the website by typing the URL into your browser. 2.3.6 Using secure Wi-Fi networks. When accessing the internet, ensure you are connected to a secure Wi-Fi network. Public Wi-Fi networks, such as those found in cafes, airports, or hotels, are often unsecured and can be easily compromised by scammers. Avoid accessing sensitive information, such as online banking or personal accounts, when connected to public Wi-Fi. Instead, use a virtual private network (VPN) to encrypt your internet connection and protect your data from potential eavesdropping. 2.3.7 Regularly monitoring your online accounts. Frequently monitoring your online accounts is crucial in detecting any suspicious activity promptly. Regularly review your bank statements, credit card transactions, and other financial accounts for any unauthorized charges or unfamiliar transactions. Set up account alerts to receive notifications for any unusual activity. If you notice any discrepancies or suspect fraudulent activity, contact your financial institution or service provider immediately to report the issue and take appropriate action. 2.3.8 Being wary of online scams. Scammers often use various online scams, such as phishing emails, fake websites, or social engineering tactics, to deceive individuals and gather personal information. Be vigilant and skeptical of unsolicited emails or messages asking for personal information or financial details. Avoid clicking on suspicious links or downloading attachments from unknown sources. When in doubt, contact the organization directly through their official website or customer service hotline to verify the legitimacy of the communication. 2.3.9 Regularly backing up your data. Backing up your data regularly is essential in case of a security breach or device failure. By regularly creating backups of your important files, documents, and photos, you can minimize the impact of potential data loss caused by scams or other cyber threats. Utilize cloud storage services or external hard drives to store your backups securely. Ensure your backups are encrypted and password protected for an added layer of security. 2.3.10 Educating yourself about online security. Staying informed about the latest online security threats and scams is crucial in protecting your online presence. Keep up to date with news and resources related to online security, scam call prevention, and data protection. Follow reputable cybersecurity blogs, subscribe to newsletters, and participate in online forums or communities dedicated to online security. By educating yourself about online security best practices, you can stay one step ahead of scammers and protect yourself effectively. Securing your online presence is an ongoing process that requires constant vigilance and proactive measures. By implementing the strategies outlined in this section, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to scam calls and protect your personal information from falling into the wrong hands. Remember, maintaining a secure online presence is not only crucial for protecting yourself but also for safeguarding your loved ones and contributing to a safer digital environment for everyone. 2.4 Protecting your Social Security Number. Your Social Security Number (SSN) is a unique identifier that is used for various purposes, such as employment, taxation, and government benefits. It is a valuable piece of personal information that scam callers often try to obtain in order to commit identity theft or other fraudulent activities. Protecting your Social Security number is crucial to safeguarding your financial and personal well-being. In this section, we will discuss effective strategies to protect your SSN from falling into the wrong hands. 2.4.1 Be cautious with your SSN. One of the most important steps in protecting your Social Security number is to be cautious about who you share it with. Treat your SSN as highly sensitive information and only provide it when absolutely necessary. Here are some guidelines to follow. Question the need for your SSN. Before providing your SSN, ask why it is required and how it will be used. Be wary of any requests that seem unnecessary or suspicious. Securely store your SSN. Keep physical copies of your Social Security card and any documents containing your SSN in a safe and secure location, such as a locked drawer or a safe deposit box. Avoid carrying your Social Security card in your wallet or purse unless absolutely necessary. Avoid sharing your SSN online. Be cautious when asked to provide your SSN online, especially on websites that are not secure or trustworthy. Only share your SSN on reputable websites that have secure encryption protocols. Protect your SSN on phone calls. If someone calls you and requests your SSN, be skeptical. Legitimate organizations will rarely ask for your SSN over the phone unless you initiated the call or it is necessary for a specific purpose. If in doubt, hang up and call the organization directly using a verified phone number. 2.4.2 Be vigilant against scam callers. Scam callers often employ various tactics to trick individuals into revealing their Social Security numbers. By being vigilant and aware of these tactics, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to their schemes. Here are some tips to help you identify and avoid scam callers. Verify the caller's identity. If someone calls claiming to be from a government agency or a reputable organization and asks for your SSN, ask for their name, department, and a callback number. Take the time to independently verify their identity before providing any personal information. Beware of unsolicited calls. Scam callers often initiate contact without any prior interaction. Be cautious if you receive a call out of the blue from someone requesting your SSN. Legitimate organizations typically do not make unsolicited calls asking for sensitive information. Do not trust caller ID alone. Scammers can manipulate caller ID information to make it appear as if the call is coming from a legitimate source. Do not solely rely on caller ID to determine the authenticity of a call. Do not provide personal information over the phone. Avoid sharing your SSN or any other personal information, such as bank account numbers or passwords, over the phone unless you initiated the call and are certain of the recipient's identity. 2.4.3 Report suspicious calls. Reporting suspicious calls is an essential step in combating scam callers and protecting others from falling victim to their schemes. By reporting these calls, you contribute to the efforts of law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies in identifying and taking action against scammers. Here are some ways to report suspicious calls. Federal Trade Commission (FTC) file a complaint with the FTC through their website or by calling their toll-free number. The FTC collects information about scam calls and uses it to investigate and prosecute scammers. Federal Communications Commission (FCC) report unwanted calls, including scam calls, to the FCC through their website or by calling their toll-free number. The FCC uses this information to enforce regulations and protect consumers from fraudulent activities. Local law enforcement. If you believe you have been targeted by a scam caller, contact your local law enforcement agency and provide them with all relevant information. They may be able to investigate the matter further and take appropriate action. Your phone service provider. Inform your phone service provider about any scam calls you receive. They may have additional resources or services to help protect you from future scam calls. 2.4.4 Monitor your credit and accounts. Regularly monitoring your credit reports and financial accounts is an important part of protecting your Social Security number. By staying vigilant, you can quickly detect any unauthorized activity and take appropriate action. Here are some steps to help you monitor your credit and accounts effectively. Obtain your credit reports. Request a free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, annually. Review the reports for any suspicious activity or accounts that you do not recognize. Monitor your financial accounts. Regularly review your bank statements, credit card statements, and other financial accounts for any unauthorized transactions. Report any suspicious activity to your financial institution immediately. Consider credit monitoring services. Credit monitoring services can provide you with alerts and notifications of any changes or suspicious activity on your credit reports. These services can help you detect potential identity theft early on. Place a fraud alert or credit freeze. If you suspect that your Social Security number has been compromised, you can place a fraud alert or credit freeze on your credit reports. This adds an extra layer of security and makes it more difficult for fraudsters to open new accounts in your name. Protecting your social security number is crucial in preventing identity theft and other fraudulent activities. By following these strategies and staying vigilant, you can minimize the risk of falling victim to scam callers and safeguard your personal information. 3. Identifying scam callers. 3.1 Caller ID spoofing. Caller ID spoofing is a technique commonly used by scam callers to manipulate the information displayed on your caller ID. It allows scammers to disguise their true identity and make it appear as if they are calling from a different phone number or even a legitimate organization. This deceptive practice is a significant challenge when it comes to identifying and protecting yourself from scam calls. How caller ID spoofing works. Caller ID spoofing works by exploiting the flaws in the telephone network's signaling system. Scammers use specialized software or services to alter the caller ID information that is transmitted to your phone. They can change the displayed phone number to any desired number, including a local number, a well-known organization, or even a government agency. The purpose of spoofing the caller ID is to gain your trust and increase the likelihood that you will answer the call. By making the call appear to come from a familiar or legitimate source, scammers aim to deceive you into providing personal information, financial details, or even access to your computer or devices. Common uses of caller ID spoofing. Caller ID spoofing is a versatile tool for scammers, allowing them to carry out various types of fraudulent activities. Here are some common uses of caller ID spoofing. Impersonating government agencies. Scammers may spoof the caller ID to make it appear as if they are calling from a government agency, such as the IRS or Social Security Administration. They use this tactic to intimidate and trick individuals into providing sensitive information or making fraudulent payments. Banking and financial scams. Scammers often spoof the caller ID to make it seem like they are calling from a legitimate bank or financial institution. They may claim there is an issue with your account and request personal information or ask you to transfer funds to a fraudulent account. Tech support scams. Caller ID spoofing is commonly used in tech support scams. Scammers pretend to be from well-known tech companies and claim that your computer has a virus or other issues. They then try to convince you to provide remote access to your computer or purchase unnecessary software or services. Phishing scams. Spoofed caller IDs are also prevalent in phishing scams. Scammers may pose as representatives from reputable companies or organizations and attempt to trick you into revealing sensitive information, such as passwords or credit card details. Protecting yourself from caller ID spoofing. While it can be challenging to completely prevent caller ID spoofing, there are steps you can take to protect yourself from falling victim to scams. Be skeptical. Always be cautious when receiving calls, even if the caller ID appears to be from a legitimate source. Remember that scammers can manipulate the displayed information. If something seems suspicious or too good to be true, trust your instincts and proceed with caution. Don't trust caller ID alone. Caller ID should not be the sole basis for determining the legitimacy of a call. If you receive a call from a familiar organization or government agency, independently verify the caller's identity by contacting them directly using a trusted phone number or official website. Avoid sharing personal information. Never provide personal or financial information over the phone unless you initiated the call and are certain of the recipient's identity. Legitimate organizations will not ask for sensitive information over an unsolicited phone call. Use call blocking apps. Consider using call blocking apps or services that can help identify and block known scam numbers. These apps use databases of reported scam numbers to warn you about potential fraudulent calls. Report scam calls. If you receive a scam call, report it to the appropriate authorities. In the United States, you can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. Reporting scam calls helps authorities track and take action against scammers. Stay informed. Stay updated on the latest scam call trends and techniques. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics, so it's essential to stay informed to protect yourself and others from falling victim to their schemes. By understanding how caller ID spoofing works and taking proactive measures to protect yourself, you can reduce the risk of falling victim to scam calls. Remember to stay vigilant and never hesitate to hang up or ignore a call if you suspect it may be a scam. 3.2 Recognizing robocalls. Robocalls have become a prevalent form of scam calls in recent years. These automated calls are made using computerized systems that can dial thousands of numbers in a short period of time. Robocalls are not only annoying but can also be used by scammers to deceive and defraud unsuspecting individuals. In this section, we will explore the characteristics of robocalls and provide you with tips on how to recognize and protect yourself from them. 3.2.1 What are robocalls? Robocalls are pre-recorded messages that are delivered through an automated calling system. These calls are often used for various purposes, including telemarketing, political campaigns, and even scamming. Scammers utilize robocalls to reach a large number of potential victims quickly and efficiently. They can be used to promote fraudulent products or services, gather personal information, or trick individuals into providing sensitive financial details. 3.2.2 How to recognize robocalls. Recognizing robocalls can be challenging, as scammers have become increasingly sophisticated in their techniques. However, there are several signs that can help you identify a robocall. Automated voice. Robocalls typically use a computer-generated voice that sounds unnatural or robotic. The voice may lack inflection or emotion, making it easy to distinguish from a real person. Delay in response. When you answer a robocall, there is often a noticeable delay before the automated message begins. This delay is caused by the time it takes for the computer system to connect the call to the pre-recorded message. Generic greetings. Robocalls often start with generic greetings such as, "Hello," or, "Hi, this is an important message." These greetings are designed to capture your attention and make you believe that the call is legitimate. Unsolicited calls. If you receive a call from a number you don't recognize or have not given permission to contact you, it is likely a robocall. Legitimate organizations usually obtain your consent before contacting you. Pressing a number. Some robocalls prompt you to press a number to speak with a live representative or to be removed from their calling list. However, pressing a number can lead to further scam attempts or confirm that your number is active, resulting in more unwanted calls. Suspicious offers or requests. Robocalls often make unrealistic offers or requests, such as winning a prize or providing personal information. Be cautious of any call that seems too good to be true or asks for sensitive details like your social security number or bank account information. 3.2.3 Protecting yourself from robocalls. While it may be challenging to completely avoid robocalls, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. Register for the Do Not Call list. Add your phone number to the National Do Not Call Registry in the United States or similar lists in your country. This will reduce the number of legitimate telemarketing calls you receive, although it may not eliminate all robocalls. Use call blocking apps. Install call blocking apps on your smartphone that can identify and block known robocall numbers. These apps use databases of reported scam numbers to help protect you from unwanted calls. Don't engage with robocalls. If you receive a robocall, hang up immediately without pressing any buttons or engaging with the call. Responding to the call may lead to more unwanted calls or confirm that your number is active. Be cautious with personal information. Avoid providing personal information over the phone unless you initiated the call and are certain of the caller's identity. Legitimate organizations will not ask for sensitive information over the phone. Report robocalls. Report robocalls to the appropriate authorities in your country. This helps regulatory agencies track and take action against scammers. In the United States, you can report robocalls to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. Stay informed. Keep up to date with the latest news and developments regarding robocalls and scamming techniques. By staying informed, you can better protect yourself and recognize new tactics used by scammers. Remember, being vigilant and cautious is key to protecting yourself from robocalls. By recognizing the signs of a robocall and taking appropriate action, you can reduce the risk of falling victim to scams and protect your personal information. 3.3 Identifying phishing calls. Phishing calls are a common tactic used by scammers to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information such as passwords, credit card numbers, or social security numbers. These calls often appear to be from legitimate organizations or businesses, but they are actually attempts to deceive and defraud unsuspecting victims. In this section, we will explore the characteristics of phishing calls and provide you with tips on how to identify and protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. 3.3.1 Characteristics of phishing calls. Phishing calls can take on various forms, but they typically share some common characteristics that can help you identify them. Here are a few key indicators to watch out for. Urgency and threats. Phishing calls often create a sense of urgency or use threats to pressure you into taking immediate action. The caller may claim that your bank account has been compromised, your social security number has been suspended, or that you owe money and will face legal consequences if you don't comply. Spoofed caller ID. Scammers frequently use caller ID spoofing techniques to make it appear as though the call is coming from a legitimate organization or a trusted source. They may manipulate the caller ID to display a familiar name or number, making it more difficult for you to recognize that it is a scam. Request for personal information. Phishing calls typically involve a request for personal information such as your social security number, credit card details, or login credentials. Legitimate organizations will never ask you to provide sensitive information over the phone, especially unsolicited. Unsolicited calls. Phishing calls often come out of the blue and are unsolicited. Be cautious if you receive a call from someone you don't know, especially if they are asking for personal information or making unusual requests. Poor grammar and pronunciation. Many phishing calls originate from overseas call centers, and scammers may have difficulty speaking fluent English or may use poor grammar. If the caller's language skills seem unprofessional or inconsistent with the organization they claim to represent, it could be a red flag. 3.3.2 Protecting yourself from phishing calls. Now that you are aware of the characteristics of phishing calls, it's important to take proactive steps to protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. Here are some tips to help you stay safe. Be skeptical. Adopt a healthy level of skepticism when receiving unsolicited calls, especially if they involve requests for personal information or urgent actions. Remember that legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. Verify the caller's identity. If you receive a call from someone claiming to represent a company or organization, ask for their name, department, and a callback number. Hang up and independently verify the caller's identity by contacting the organization directly using a trusted phone number or official website. Do not share personal information. Never share personal information such as your social security number, credit card details, or passwords over the phone unless you have initiated the call and are confident in the legitimacy of the recipient. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest phishing techniques and scams. Regularly educate yourself about common tactics used by scammers and share this knowledge with friends and family to help protect them as well. Use call blocking apps. Consider using call blocking apps or services that can help identify and block known scam numbers. These apps use databases of reported scam numbers to warn you about potential threats. Report phishing calls. If you receive a phishing call, report it to the appropriate authorities. In the United States, you can report such calls to the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) and the Federal Communications Commission (FCC). Stay updated. Keep your phone's operating system and apps up to date to ensure you have the latest security patches. This can help protect you from known vulnerabilities that scammers may exploit. Remember, the best defense against phishing calls is to be vigilant and cautious. By staying informed, verifying the caller's identity, and protecting your personal information, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to these scams. 3.4 Spotting government impersonation scams. Government impersonation scams are a common tactic used by scammers to deceive individuals into believing they are interacting with a legitimate government agency or representative. These scams can be particularly convincing and can lead to significant financial losses if not identified and avoided. In this section, we will explore the various techniques used by scammers in government impersonation scams and provide you with tips on how to spot and protect yourself from falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. 3.4.1 Understanding government impersonation scams. Government impersonation scams involve scammers posing as representatives from government agencies such as the Internal Revenue Service (IRS), Social Security Administration (SSA), or even law enforcement agencies. The scammers often use fear tactics and urgency to manipulate their victims into providing personal information or making immediate payments. These scams can take various forms, including phone calls, emails, text messages, or even in-person visits. The scammers may claim that you owe money in taxes, have an outstanding warrant for your arrest, or that your social security number has been compromised. They may threaten legal action, deportation, or the suspension of your benefits to create a sense of urgency and panic. 3.4.2 Red flags to look out for. While government impersonation scams can be sophisticated, there are several red flags that can help you identify and avoid falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. 1. Unsolicited communication. Government agencies typically do not initiate contact through unsolicited phone calls, emails, or text messages. Be cautious if you receive unexpected communication claiming to be from a government agency. 2. Pressure and urgency. Scammers often create a sense of urgency and pressure to make you act quickly without thinking. They may threaten immediate arrest, deportation, or the suspension of benefits. Remember that legitimate government agencies will not use such tactics. 3. Request for personal information. Government agencies will never ask for personal information, such as your social security number, bank account details, or credit card information, over the phone or through email. Be wary of any request for sensitive information. 4. Payment demands. Scammers may demand immediate payment through wire transfers, prepaid debit cards, or gift cards. Legitimate government agencies will not ask for payment in these forms. 5. Caller ID spoofing. Scammers often use technology to manipulate caller ID information, making it appear as if the call is coming from a legitimate government agency. However, remember that caller ID can be easily spoofed, so it is not a reliable indicator of authenticity. 6. Poor grammar and spelling. Many scammers operate from overseas, and their communication may contain grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, or awkward phrasing. This can be a sign that the communication is not from a legitimate government agency. 3.4.3 Protecting yourself from government impersonation scams. To protect yourself from government impersonation scams, it is essential to remain vigilant and follow these preventive measures. 1. Verify the caller's identity. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a government agency, ask for their name, badge number, and the purpose of the call. Hang up and independently verify their identity by contacting the official phone number of the agency they claim to represent. 2. Do not share personal information. Never provide personal information, such as your social security number, bank account details, or credit card information, to anyone who contacts you unsolicited. Legitimate government agencies will not ask for this information over the phone or through email. 3. Be skeptical of payment requests. Government agencies will not demand immediate payment through wire transfers, prepaid debit cards, or gift cards. If you are asked to make a payment, independently verify the legitimacy of the request by contacting the official phone number of the agency. 4. Report suspicious calls. If you receive a suspicious call from someone claiming to be from a government agency, report it to the appropriate authorities. You can contact the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) or the Inspector General's office of the agency the scammer claims to represent. 5. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest scams and techniques used by scammers. Government agencies often provide resources and information on their official websites to help individuals protect themselves from fraud. 6. Spread awareness. Share your knowledge and experiences with family, friends, and community members to raise awareness about government impersonation scams. By educating others, you can help prevent them from falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. Remember, government agencies will never ask for personal information or demand immediate payment over the phone or through email. Stay vigilant, trust your instincts, and take the necessary precautions to protect yourself from government impersonation scams. 3.5 Detecting tech support scams. Tech support scams have become increasingly prevalent in recent years, targeting unsuspecting individuals who are seeking assistance with their computer or electronic devices. These scams typically involve fraudsters posing as legitimate technical support representatives, tricking victims into providing personal information or granting remote access to their devices. In this section, we will explore the common tactics used by tech support scammers and provide you with tips on how to detect and protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. 3.5.1 Understanding tech support scam techniques. Tech support scammers employ various techniques to deceive their victims. It is important to familiarize yourself with these tactics to avoid falling into their traps. Here are some common techniques used by tech support scammers. 1. Unsolicited calls or pop-ups. Tech support scammers often initiate contact with potential victims through unsolicited phone calls or pop-up messages on their computers. They may claim to be from a well-known tech company, such as Microsoft or Apple, and inform you that your device has been infected with a virus or malware. These unsolicited approaches are a red flag and should be treated with caution. 2. Creating a sense of urgency. Scammers often create a sense of urgency to pressure their victims into taking immediate action. They may claim that your device will be permanently damaged or that your personal information is at risk if you do not comply with their instructions. Remember, legitimate tech support representatives will never rush you or use scare tactics to gain your cooperation. 3. Requesting remote access. One of the primary goals of tech support scammers is to gain remote access to your computer or device. They may ask you to download a remote access tool or visit a specific website that allows them to take control of your device. Granting remote access gives scammers the ability to install malicious software, steal personal information, or even make unauthorized purchases using your device. 4. Requesting payment for services. Tech support scammers often request payment for their supposed services. They may ask for your credit card information or request payment through unconventional methods such as gift cards or wire transfers. Legitimate tech support companies will never ask for payment upfront or through these unconventional channels. 3.5.2 Tips for detecting tech support scams. Now that you are familiar with the techniques used by tech support scammers, here are some tips to help you detect and protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. 1. Be skeptical of unsolicited calls or pop-ups. If you receive an unsolicited call or encounter a pop-up message claiming to be from a tech support company, be skeptical. Legitimate tech support companies do not proactively reach out to customers unless they have initiated contact first. Do not provide any personal information or grant remote access to your device without verifying the legitimacy of the caller. 2. Verify the caller's identity. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a tech support company, ask for their name, company, and contact information. Legitimate tech support representatives will be happy to provide this information. Take the time to independently verify their identity by contacting the company directly using their official contact information. 3. Do not grant remote access. Never grant remote access to your computer or device to someone you do not trust. If a tech support representative requests remote access, ask for a callback number and take the time to research the company and their reputation. Legitimate tech support companies will have a professional website and positive customer reviews. 4. Hang up and report suspicious calls. If you suspect that a call is a tech support scam, hang up immediately. Do not engage with the caller or provide any personal information. Report the suspicious call to your local authorities and the appropriate regulatory agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) in the United States. 5. Educate yourself and others. Stay informed about the latest tech support scam techniques and share this knowledge with your friends and family. By educating yourself and others, you can help prevent more people from falling victim to these scams. Additionally, encourage others to report any suspicious calls they receive to the relevant authorities. Conclusion. Tech support scams can be financially and emotionally devastating. By understanding the techniques used by scammers and following the tips provided in this section, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. Remember to always be skeptical of unsolicited calls or pop-ups, verify the caller's identity, and never grant remote access to your devices without proper verification. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and help create a safer digital environment for everyone. 3.6 Uncovering charity scams. Charity scams are a particularly despicable form of scam calls that prey on people's generosity and desire to help others. These scams involve fraudulent individuals or organizations posing as legitimate charities, soliciting donations for a cause that may not even exist. Uncovering charity scams is crucial to protect yourself and ensure that your donations go to legitimate causes that truly make a difference. In this section, we will explore the common tactics used by charity scammers and provide you with tips on how to identify and avoid falling victim to these scams. 3.6.1 Understanding charity scam tactics. Charity scammers employ various tactics to manipulate and deceive unsuspecting individuals. By understanding these tactics, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to their schemes. Here are some common tactics used by charity scammers. Emotional manipulation. Charity scammers often use emotional appeals to tug at your heartstrings and convince you to donate. They may share heart-wrenching stories or use guilt-inducing language to make you feel obligated to contribute. Remember, legitimate charities rely on facts and transparency, not emotional manipulation, to garner support. High-pressure tactics. Scammers may use high-pressure tactics to rush you into making a donation without giving you time to research or think it through. They may claim that immediate action is required to address an urgent situation or offer limited-time opportunities to donate. Legitimate charities will always give you the time and space to make an informed decision. Impersonating well-known charities. Some scammers go to great lengths to impersonate well-known and reputable charities. They may use similar names, logos, or even fake websites to trick you into believing that they are associated with a legitimate organization. Always verify the authenticity of a charity before donating. Unsolicited contact. Charity scammers often initiate contact through unsolicited phone calls, emails, or even door-to-door visits. Legitimate charities typically do not engage in aggressive solicitation tactics. Be cautious when approached by someone you did not reach out to first. 3.6.2 Identifying legitimate charities. To uncover charity scams, it is essential to know how to identify legitimate charities. Here are some steps you can take to ensure that your donations go to reputable organizations. Research the charity. Before donating, research the charity thoroughly. Look for information about their mission, programs, and financial transparency. Legitimate charities are transparent about how they use donations and provide detailed reports on their activities. Verify the charity's legitimacy. Check if the charity is registered with the appropriate government authorities. In many countries, legitimate charities are required to register and provide financial information. You can usually find this information on government websites or by contacting the relevant regulatory agencies. Review financial statements. Legitimate charities are open about their financials and provide audited financial statements. Review these statements to ensure that the charity is using donations responsibly and efficiently. Look for excessive administrative costs or irregularities that may indicate fraudulent activity. Contact the charity directly. If you receive a solicitation call or email, do not provide any personal or financial information right away. Instead, independently verify the charity's contact information and reach out to them directly. Legitimate charities will be happy to provide you with more information and answer any questions you may have. 3.6.3 Protecting yourself from charity scams. Protecting yourself from charity scams requires a combination of skepticism, research, and caution. Here are some additional tips to help you avoid falling victim to these scams. Be skeptical of unsolicited calls. If you receive an unsolicited call from someone claiming to represent a charity, be cautious. Ask for their contact information and inform them that you will research the charity before making any donations. Legitimate charities will understand and respect your decision. Do not share personal information. Never provide personal or financial information over the phone or through email unless you have independently verified the legitimacy of the charity. Scammers may use this information for identity theft or to make unauthorized transactions. Donate securely. When making a donation, use secure and reputable payment methods. Avoid sending cash or providing credit card information to unknown individuals or organizations. Legitimate charities offer secure online donation options or accept checks payable to the charity's official name. Report suspicious activity. If you suspect that you have encountered a charity scam, report it to the appropriate authorities. Contact your local law enforcement agency, the Federal Trade Commission (FTC), or the regulatory agency responsible for overseeing charities in your country. Reporting scams helps protect others from falling victim to the same fraudulent schemes. Conclusion. Uncovering charity scams is crucial to ensure that your donations reach legitimate organizations that make a positive impact. By understanding the tactics used by charity scammers, identifying legitimate charities, and taking necessary precautions, you can protect yourself and contribute to causes that truly make a difference. Remember, your generosity should be directed towards those in need, not into the pockets of fraudsters. 4. Responding to scam calls. 4.1 Ignoring and blocking scam calls. Scam calls have become an unfortunate reality in today's digital age. These fraudulent calls can be annoying, intrusive, and even dangerous. However, there are steps you can take to protect yourself and regain control over your phone. In this section, we will explore the importance of ignoring and blocking scam calls and provide you with practical strategies to deal with them effectively. 4.1.1 The importance of ignoring scam calls. When it comes to scam calls, the first line of defense is to ignore them. Scammers rely on your response to validate their tactics and potentially exploit you further. By not engaging with these calls, you deny scammers the opportunity to manipulate or deceive you. Ignoring scam calls sends a clear message that you are not an easy target and can discourage scammers from persisting. 4.1.2 Identifying scam calls. Before you can ignore scam calls, it's crucial to be able to identify them accurately. Scammers often use various techniques to deceive and trick unsuspecting individuals. Some common signs of scam calls include unsolicited calls. Scammers often initiate calls without any prior contact or relationship with you. High-pressure tactics. Scammers may use aggressive or urgent language to create a sense of urgency and manipulate you into taking immediate action. Requests for personal information. Legitimate organizations rarely ask for personal information over the phone, especially sensitive details like social security numbers or banking information. Threats or intimidation. Scammers may use fear tactics, such as threatening legal action or claiming to be from law enforcement agencies, to coerce you into complying with their demands. Too good to be true offers. Scammers often entice victims with promises of unrealistic rewards, such as lottery winnings or exclusive deals, to lure them into their traps. By familiarizing yourself with these red flags, you can quickly identify potential scam calls and take appropriate action. 4.1.3 Blocking scam calls. Ignoring scam calls is an effective first step, but blocking them provides an added layer of protection. Blocking scam calls prevents scammers from reaching you in the first place, reducing the chances of falling victim to their schemes. Here are some methods to block scam calls. Built-in phone features. Many smartphones have built-in call blocking features that allow you to block specific numbers or even entire area codes. Explore your phone's settings or contact your service provider to learn how to activate this feature. Third-party call blocking apps. There are numerous call blocking apps available for both Android and iOS devices. These apps use extensive databases of known scam numbers to automatically block them. Research and choose a reputable app that suits your needs. Do not call registry. Registering your phone number on the National Do Not Call Registry, in the United States or similar services in other countries can help reduce the number of unwanted calls you receive. While this may not block all scam calls, it can significantly reduce their frequency. 4.1.4 Handling unknown numbers. Not all unknown numbers are necessarily scam calls. It's important to exercise caution and use your judgment when deciding whether to answer or block these calls. Here are a few tips for handling unknown numbers. Screen calls. Let unknown numbers go to voicemail and listen to the message later. Legitimate callers will leave a message, while scammers often hang up without leaving any information. Research the number. If you're curious about an unknown number, you can search online to see if others have reported it as a scam. Various websites and forums provide information on reported scam numbers. Trust your instincts. If something feels off or suspicious about an unknown number, it's best to err on the side of caution and block it. 4.1.5 Staying vigilant. While ignoring and blocking scam calls is essential, scammers are constantly evolving their tactics. It's crucial to stay vigilant and adapt to new strategies scammers may employ. Here are some additional tips to help you stay ahead. Keep your personal information private. Avoid sharing sensitive information, such as your social security number or banking details, over the phone unless you initiated the call and are certain of the recipient's legitimacy. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and trends. Knowledge is power, and being aware of new scams can help you recognize and avoid them. Report scam calls. Reporting scam calls to the appropriate authorities can help in their investigation and potentially prevent others from falling victim. Contact your local law enforcement agency or the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the United States to report scam calls. Share your experiences. By sharing your experiences with scam calls, you can help raise awareness and educate others about the dangers of these fraudulent activities. Talk to your friends, family, and community about scam call prevention strategies. By ignoring and blocking scam calls, you take control of your phone and protect yourself from potential harm. Remember, scammers thrive on your response, so denying them that opportunity is a powerful way to combat their malicious intentions. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and together we can create a safer and scam-free future. 4.2 Reporting scam calls to authorities. Reporting scam calls to the appropriate authorities is an essential step in combating the growing problem of scam callers. By reporting these fraudulent activities, you not only protect yourself but also contribute to the collective effort of law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies in identifying and apprehending scammers. In this section, we will discuss the importance of reporting scam calls, the different authorities you can report to, and the steps you can take to make an effective report. 4.2.1 Why reporting scam calls is important. Reporting scam calls is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, it helps law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies gather valuable information about the tactics, techniques, and patterns used by scammers. This information is vital in developing strategies to combat scam calls effectively. By reporting, you become an active participant in the fight against fraudsters, contributing to the overall safety and security of the community. Secondly, reporting scam calls can help protect others from falling victim to similar scams. By sharing your experience and providing details about the scam call, you enable authorities to issue warnings and alerts to the public, raising awareness and preventing others from becoming victims. Your report can serve as a valuable resource for educating and empowering individuals to recognize and avoid scam calls. Lastly, reporting scam calls can lead to the identification and prosecution of scammers. Law enforcement agencies rely on reports from victims to build cases against fraudsters. By reporting, you provide crucial evidence that can be used to track down and hold scammers accountable for their actions. Your report may be the missing piece of the puzzle that helps bring justice to those who have been affected by scam calls. 4.2.2 Authorities to report scam calls. When it comes to reporting scam calls, there are several authorities you can reach out to. The appropriate authority may vary depending on the nature of the scam call and your location. Here are some of the key authorities you can consider reporting scam calls to. Federal Trade Commission (FTC). The FTC is the primary agency responsible for protecting consumers against fraudulent activities. They have a dedicated platform called the FTC Complaint Assistant where you can report scam calls online. The FTC uses the information provided in these reports to investigate and take legal action against scammers. Federal Communications Commission (FCC). The FCC regulates telecommunications in the United States and plays a crucial role in combating scam calls. They have an online consumer complaint center where you can report scam calls related to telemarketing, robocalls, and other fraudulent activities. Local law enforcement. In cases where you have been a victim of a scam call that involves financial loss or personal harm, it is important to report the incident to your local law enforcement agency. They can investigate the matter further and take appropriate action. State Attorney General's Office. Many states have their own Attorney General's office that handles consumer protection issues. They often have dedicated hotlines or online complaint forms where you can report scam calls. Better Business Bureau (BBB). The BBB is a nonprofit organization that focuses on advancing marketplace trust. While they do not have enforcement powers, they collect and track consumer complaints, including those related to scam calls. Reporting to the BBB can help raise awareness and provide valuable information to other consumers. Internet Crime Complaints Center (IC3). If a scam call is related to online fraud or cybercrime, you can report it to the IC3, a partnership between the FBI, the National White Collar Crime Center (NW3C), and the Bureau of Justice Assistance (BJA). The IC3 accepts complaints related to a wide range of internet scams, including those initiated through phone calls. 4.2.3 Steps to make an effective report. When reporting scam calls to authorities, it is important to provide as much detail as possible. Here are some steps you can take to make an effective report. Document the call. Take notes during the call, including the date, time, and duration of the call. Note down any important details such as the caller's phone number, name if provided, and the nature of the scam. These details will be helpful when making your report. Gather evidence. If possible, try to record the scam call or take screenshots of any relevant messages or emails. This evidence can strengthen your report and provide valuable information to the authorities. Report promptly. It is important to report scam calls as soon as possible after the incident. This ensures that the details are fresh in your mind and increases the chances of catching the scammers before they move on to their next target. Provide accurate information. When making your report, be sure to provide accurate and truthful information. Any false or misleading information can hinder the investigation process and may have legal consequences. Follow up. After making your report, follow up with the relevant authorities to ensure that your report has been received and is being investigated. This can help you stay informed about the progress of the case and provide any additional information if required. Remember, reporting scam calls is an important step in the fight against fraudsters. By reporting, you not only protect yourself but also contribute to the collective effort in creating a safer and scam-free environment for everyone. 4.3 Engaging scammers safely. Engaging with scammers can be a risky endeavor, as they are skilled manipulators who are experts at deceiving and exploiting unsuspecting individuals. However, there may be instances where you feel the need to engage with scammers for various reasons, such as gathering information to report them or simply to waste their time and prevent them from targeting others. In such cases, it is crucial to approach these interactions with caution and prioritize your safety. This section will provide you with some guidelines on how to engage scammers safely. 4.3.1 Understanding the risks. Before engaging with scammers, it is important to understand the potential risks involved. Scammers are skilled at manipulating people and may attempt to gather personal information from you or even try to gain access to your computer or financial accounts. They may use various tactics, such as phishing emails, fake websites, or social engineering techniques, to deceive you. Engaging with scammers can also lead to emotional distress or psychological harm, as they may use aggressive or threatening tactics to intimidate you. Therefore, it is crucial to be aware of these risks and proceed with caution. 4.3.2 Use a virtual environment. To protect your personal information and devices, it is recommended to engage scammers in a virtual environment rather than using your primary computer or phone. You can set up a virtual machine or use a separate device solely for the purpose of engaging with scammers. This way, even if the scammers attempt to install malware or gain access to your system, it will be contained within the virtual environment, minimizing the risk to your personal data. 4.3.3 Maintain anonymity. When engaging with scammers, it is crucial to protect your identity and personal information. Avoid sharing any personal details, such as your real name, address, or financial information. Use a pseudonym or a fake identity to maintain anonymity. Remember, scammers are skilled at gathering information, and any personal details you provide can be used against you or potentially lead to identity theft. 4.3.4 Record and document. When engaging with scammers, it is important to keep a record of the interaction. Take screenshots, record phone calls if legally permissible, or save chat logs as evidence. This documentation can be useful when reporting the scam to the authorities or sharing it with others to raise awareness. Additionally, it can help you keep track of the scammer's tactics and patterns, which can be valuable information for educating others about scam calls. 4.3.5 Do not engage in illegal activities. While engaging with scammers, it is essential to remember that you should not participate in any illegal activities. Avoid hacking or attempting to gain unauthorized access to the scammer's systems. Engaging in illegal activities can have serious consequences and may result in legal trouble for you. Stick to gathering information, wasting your time, or simply playing along without crossing any legal boundaries. 4.3.6 Protect your emotions. Engaging with scammers can be emotionally draining, as they may use manipulative tactics to exploit your vulnerabilities. It is important to protect your emotions and mental well-being during these interactions. Remember that scammers are professionals at what they do, and their goal is to deceive and manipulate you. Do not take their words personally or let them affect you emotionally. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed or distressed, it is best to disengage and seek support from friends, family, or professionals. 4.3.7 Report to authorities. Engaging with scammers can provide valuable information for law enforcement agencies to track and apprehend them. After documenting the interaction, report the scam to the appropriate authorities, such as your local police department, the Federal Trade Commission (FTC), or the Internet Crime Complaints Center (IC3). Provide them with all the evidence you have gathered, including screenshots, chat logs, or recorded phone calls. Reporting the scam can help protect others from falling victim to the same scammer. 4.3.8 Share with scam awareness groups. Engaging with scammers can also be an opportunity to raise awareness and educate others about scam calls. Share your experiences with scam awareness groups or online communities dedicated to exposing and combating scams. By sharing your encounters, you can help others recognize the tactics used by scammers and empower them to protect themselves. Additionally, these groups may provide support and guidance on how to safely engage with scammers and contribute to the collective effort of combating scam calls. Engaging with scammers can be a risky endeavor, and it is important to prioritize your safety and well-being. Proceed with caution, maintain anonymity, and document the interactions for reporting purposes. Remember, the ultimate goal is to protect yourself and others from falling victim to scams. 4.4 Educating others about scam calls. Educating others about scam calls is an essential step in the fight against scammers and protecting individuals from falling victim to their deceptive tactics. By spreading awareness and knowledge about scam calls, you can empower others to recognize and avoid these fraudulent schemes. This section will provide you with valuable information on how to effectively educate others about scam calls. 4.4.1 Importance of education. Educating others about scam calls is crucial because scammers are constantly evolving their techniques to deceive unsuspecting individuals. By staying informed and sharing this knowledge, you can help prevent others from becoming victims. Education is the key to empowering individuals to recognize the warning signs of scam calls and take appropriate action to protect themselves. 4.4.2 Targeted audiences. When it comes to educating others about scam calls, it is important to consider the specific audiences that are most vulnerable to these scams. Some key groups that are often targeted by scammers include seniors, immigrants, students, and small businesses. Tailoring your educational efforts to these specific audiences can make a significant impact in preventing scam call incidents. 4.4.2.1 Seniors. Seniors are often targeted by scammers due to their trusting nature and lack of familiarity with modern technology. To educate seniors about scam calls, consider hosting workshops or seminars at senior centers or retirement communities. Provide them with information on common scam call techniques, such as the grandparent scam or Medicare fraud, and teach them how to recognize and report these scams. 4.4.2.2 Immigrants. Immigrants may be particularly vulnerable to scam calls due to language barriers and unfamiliarity with local laws and regulations. To educate immigrants about scam calls, collaborate with community organizations or cultural centers that serve immigrant populations. Offer multilingual resources and workshops that explain common scam call tactics and provide guidance on how to protect personal information. 4.4.2.3 Students. Students, especially those who are new to managing their finances, may be targeted by scammers offering fake scholarships, loan forgiveness programs, or job opportunities. To educate students about scam calls, partner with educational institutions such as colleges and universities. Conduct awareness campaigns on campus, distribute informational brochures, and organize guest lectures to educate students about the risks and prevention strategies. 4.4.2.4 Small businesses. Small businesses are often targeted by scammers posing as government agencies or service providers. To educate small businesses about scam calls, collaborate with local business associations or chambers of commerce. Offer workshops or webinars that focus on common scam call techniques targeting businesses, such as fake invoices or phishing emails, and provide guidance on how to verify the legitimacy of such calls. 4.4.3 Educational strategies. When educating others about scam calls, it is important to employ effective educational strategies that resonate with your target audience. Here are some strategies to consider. 4.4.3.1 Workshops and seminars. Organize workshops and seminars in collaboration with community organizations, schools, or businesses. These events provide an opportunity to engage directly with the audience, share information, and answer questions. Use real-life examples and case studies to illustrate the tactics used by scammers and provide practical tips on how to avoid falling victim to scam calls. 4.4.3.2 Informational materials. Create informational materials such as brochures, pamphlets, or posters that can be distributed in community centers, libraries, schools, or businesses. These materials should include clear and concise information about scam call techniques, warning signs, and preventive measures. Make sure to use simple language and visuals that are easy to understand. 4.4.3.3 Online resources. Develop online resources such as websites or blogs dedicated to scam call education. These platforms can provide comprehensive information, frequently asked questions, and updates on the latest scam call trends. Utilize social media platforms to share informative posts, videos, or infographics that raise awareness about scam calls and reach a wider audience. 4.4.3.4 Collaboration with local authorities. Collaborate with local law enforcement agencies, consumer protection organizations, or regulatory bodies to enhance the credibility and reach of your educational efforts. Invite representatives from these organizations to speak at workshops or seminars, or request their assistance in creating educational materials. Their expertise and involvement can add value and legitimacy to your educational initiatives. 4.4.4 Empowering individuals to take action. In addition to providing knowledge about scam calls, it is crucial to empower individuals to take action when they encounter scam calls. Educate them on the importance of reporting scam calls to the appropriate authorities, such as the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or local law enforcement agencies. Encourage them to share their experiences with others, helping to create a network of informed individuals who can support each other in the fight against scam calls. By educating others about scam calls, you can make a significant impact in reducing the number of victims and deterring scammers. Remember, knowledge is power, and by sharing your knowledge, you can help create a safer and scam-free future for everyone. 5. Dealing with financial scams. 5.1 Recognizing investment scams. Investment scams are a common type of scam call that targets individuals looking to grow their wealth or make profitable investments. Scammers use various tactics to deceive unsuspecting victims into investing their hard-earned money into fraudulent schemes. Recognizing the signs of investment scams is crucial to protect yourself from financial loss and potential devastation. In this section, we will explore the different types of investment scams and provide you with valuable tips on how to identify and avoid falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. 5.1.1 Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes are one of the most notorious types of investment scams. In a Ponzi scheme, scammers promise high returns on investments by using funds from new investors to pay off earlier investors. The scheme relies on a constant influx of new investors to sustain the illusion of profitability. However, as the number of new investors decreases, the scheme collapses, leaving many investors with significant financial losses. To recognize a Ponzi scheme, be wary of investment opportunities that guarantee unusually high returns with little to no risk. Scammers often use persuasive tactics to create a sense of urgency, pressuring individuals to invest quickly before the opportunity disappears. Additionally, be cautious if the investment promoter is not registered with the appropriate regulatory authorities or if they are hesitant to provide detailed information about the investment strategy. 5.1.2 Pump and dump schemes. Pump and dump schemes involve artificially inflating the price of a stock or investment through false or misleading statements. Scammers typically promote a particular investment, creating hype and driving up its price. Once the price reaches a peak, the scammers sell their shares, causing the price to plummet. This leaves unsuspecting investors with worthless investments. To identify a pump and dump scheme, be cautious of unsolicited investment advice or recommendations from unknown sources. Scammers often use high-pressure tactics to convince individuals to invest quickly before the supposed opportunity disappears. Additionally, be skeptical of investments that promise quick and substantial profits without providing a clear explanation of the underlying business or investment strategy. 5.1.3 Pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes operate by recruiting individuals to invest in a program or product with the promise of earning commissions for recruiting others. Participants are encouraged to recruit more individuals into the scheme, and the cycle continues. However, pyramid schemes are unsustainable, as the number of potential recruits eventually runs out, leaving those at the bottom of the pyramid with significant financial losses. To recognize a pyramid scheme, be cautious of investment opportunities that primarily focus on recruitment rather than the sale of a legitimate product or service. Pyramid schemes often emphasize the potential for high earnings through recruitment rather than the actual value of the product or service being offered. Additionally, be wary of schemes that require large upfront investments or pressure individuals to recruit friends and family members. 5.1.4 Offshore investment scams. Offshore investment scams involve fraudulent investment opportunities based in foreign countries. Scammers often use the allure of offshore investments to entice individuals with promises of tax advantages, high returns, and secrecy. However, these scams are designed to exploit individuals' lack of knowledge about foreign investment regulations and the difficulty of recovering funds from overseas. To identify an offshore investment scam, exercise caution when dealing with investments based in foreign countries, especially if the promoter is not registered with the appropriate regulatory authorities. Be skeptical of investments that promise tax advantages or secrecy, as these can be red flags for fraudulent schemes. Additionally, conduct thorough research on the investment opportunity and seek advice from a reputable financial advisor before making any decisions. 5.1.5 Red Flags of Investment Scams. While each investment scam may have its unique characteristics, there are some common red flags to watch out for. Guaranteed high returns. Be skeptical of investments that promise unusually high returns with little to no risk. Legitimate investments always carry some level of risk, and high returns are typically associated with higher risks. Pressure to invest quickly. Scammers often create a sense of urgency to pressure individuals into making hasty investment decisions. Take your time to research and evaluate any investment opportunity thoroughly. Lack of transparency. If the investment promoter is hesitant to provide detailed information about the investment strategy or fails to disclose relevant information, it could be a sign of a scam. Unregistered promoters. Ensure that the investment promoter is registered with the appropriate regulatory authorities. Legitimate investment professionals are required to be registered and follow specific regulations. Unsolicited investment offers. Be cautious of unsolicited investment offers, especially if they come from unknown sources. Legitimate investment opportunities are typically not marketed through cold calls or random emails. By being aware of these red flags and staying vigilant, you can protect yourself from falling victim to investment scams. Remember, if an investment opportunity sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always conduct thorough research, seek advice from trusted professionals, and trust your instincts when it comes to investing your hard-earned money. 5.2 Avoiding lottery and sweepstakes scams. Lottery and sweepstakes scams are some of the most common types of scams that people fall victim to. These scams prey on the desire to win big and can be incredibly convincing. In this section, we will discuss how to recognize and avoid lottery and sweepstakes scams, as well as provide tips on protecting yourself from falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. 5.2.1 Understanding lottery and sweepstakes scams. Lottery and sweepstakes scams typically involve a phone call or an email informing you that you have won a large sum of money or a valuable prize. The scammers will often claim that you need to pay a fee or provide personal information in order to claim your winnings. They may even send you a fake check to make the scam seem more legitimate. It is important to remember that legitimate lotteries and sweepstakes do not require winners to pay any fees or provide personal information in order to claim their prizes. If you are asked to do so, it is a clear indication that you are dealing with a scam. 5.2.2 Recognizing the red flags. There are several red flags that can help you identify lottery and sweepstakes scams. Unsolicited contact. Legitimate lotteries and sweepstakes will not contact you out of the blue. If you receive a call or an email claiming that you have won a prize without entering any contest, it is likely a scam. Request for payment. Scammers will often ask for payment in the form of fees, taxes, or other charges in order to release your winnings. Legitimate lotteries and sweepstakes do not require winners to pay anything upfront. Pressure to act quickly. Scammers will often create a sense of urgency, pressuring you to act quickly and make a payment or provide personal information. Legitimate organizations will give you time to consider your options and will not rush you into making a decision. Poor grammar and spelling. Many scam emails and letters contain grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Legitimate organizations typically have professional communication standards and will not make such mistakes. 5.2.3 Protecting yourself from lottery and sweepstakes scams. To protect yourself from falling victim to lottery and sweepstakes scams, follow these tips. Be skeptical. Always be skeptical of unsolicited calls or emails claiming that you have won a prize. Remember that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Verify legitimacy. If you receive a call or an email claiming that you have won a prize, independently verify the legitimacy of the organization. Look up their contact information online and contact them directly to confirm if the prize is genuine. Never send money. Legitimate lotteries and sweepstakes will never ask you to pay any fees or charges in order to claim your winnings. If you are asked to send money, it is a clear sign of a scam. Protect your personal information. Never provide your personal information, such as your social security number or bank account details, to anyone claiming that you have won a prize. Legitimate organizations do not require this information to award prizes. Report scams. If you believe you have encountered a lottery or sweepstakes scam, report it to your local authorities and to the Federal Trade Commission (FTC). Reporting scams helps authorities track down scammers and prevent others from falling victim to their schemes. 5.2.4 Educating others about lottery and sweepstakes scams. One of the most effective ways to combat lottery and sweepstakes scams is to educate others about their existence and how to avoid them. Share the following tips with your friends, family, and community. Spread awareness. Inform others about the red flags and warning signs of lottery and sweepstakes scams. Encourage them to be vigilant and skeptical of unsolicited calls or emails claiming that they have won a prize. Share resources. Provide information about legitimate lotteries and sweepstakes, such as their contact information and official websites. This can help people verify the authenticity of any claims they receive. Encourage reporting. encourage others to report any suspected scams to the appropriate authorities. The more scams that are reported, the better equipped authorities will be to take action against scammers. Support consumer protection organizations. Support organizations that work to protect consumers from scams and fraud. These organizations often provide valuable resources and information to help people avoid falling victim to scams. By following these tips and educating others, you can help create a safer environment and reduce the number of people who fall victim to lottery and sweepstakes scams. Remember, staying informed and being cautious are key to protecting yourself from scams. 5.3 Protecting yourself from banking scams. Banking scams are a common form of fraud that can result in significant financial loss and personal information compromise. Scammers often target individuals by posing as representatives from banks or financial institutions, using various tactics to deceive and manipulate their victims. It is crucial to be aware of these scams and take proactive measures to protect yourself from falling victim to them. In this section, we will explore the different types of banking scams and provide practical tips on how to safeguard your finances. 5.3.1 Recognizing banking scams. Banking scams can take many forms, but they typically involve tricking individuals into providing their personal and financial information or transferring money to the scammers. Here are some common types of banking scams to be aware of. Phishing scams. Phishing scams involve fraudulent attempts to obtain sensitive information, such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details, by posing as a legitimate entity. Scammers often send emails or text messages that appear to be from your bank, asking you to click on a link or provide your information. These messages may create a sense of urgency or use scare tactics to prompt immediate action. Fake bank websites. Scammers may create fake websites that closely resemble the official websites of banks or financial institutions. They trick individuals into entering their login credentials or personal information, which the scammers then use for fraudulent purposes. It is essential to verify the authenticity of a website before entering any sensitive information. Phone scams. In phone scams, scammers impersonate bank representatives and call individuals, claiming there is an issue with their account or that they need to verify their information. They may ask for account numbers, social security numbers, or other personal details. It is crucial to remember that legitimate banks will never ask for such information over the phone. 5.3.2 Protecting yourself from banking scams. Protecting yourself from banking scams requires a combination of vigilance, knowledge, and proactive measures. Here are some essential steps you can take to safeguard your finances. Be skeptical and vigilant. Maintain a healthy level of skepticism when dealing with unsolicited calls, emails, or messages related to your bank account. Be cautious of any communication that asks for personal or financial information, especially if it creates a sense of urgency or uses scare tactics. Remember that legitimate banks will never ask for sensitive information through email, text, or phone calls. Verify the source. Before providing any personal or financial information, verify the authenticity of the source. If you receive an email or text message claiming to be from your bank, do not click on any links or provide any information directly. Instead, independently contact your bank using their official contact information to confirm the legitimacy of the communication. Secure your online banking. Ensure that your online banking accounts are protected with strong, unique passwords. Avoid using easily guessable passwords or sharing them with anyone. Enable multi-factor authentication if your bank offers it, as it adds an extra layer of security by requiring additional verification steps. Keep software updated. Regularly update your computer, smartphone, and other devices with the latest security patches and software updates. These updates often include important security fixes that can help protect against vulnerabilities that scammers may exploit. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest banking scams and fraud techniques. Banks and financial institutions often provide resources and educational materials on their websites to help customers recognize and prevent scams. Take advantage of these resources to enhance your knowledge and protect yourself from potential threats. Monitor your accounts. Regularly review your bank statements and transaction history to identify any unauthorized or suspicious activity. If you notice any discrepancies, contact your bank immediately to report the issue and take appropriate action. Report suspicious activity. If you encounter a banking scam or suspect fraudulent activity, report it to your bank and local law enforcement authorities. Providing them with detailed information can help them investigate and take necessary actions to prevent further scams. Conclusion. Protecting yourself from banking scams requires a combination of caution, awareness, and proactive measures. By staying vigilant, verifying the source of communication, securing your online banking, keeping software updated, and educating yourself about the latest scams, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to banking scams. Remember, your bank is there to help you, so if you have any doubts or concerns, reach out to them directly to ensure the safety of your finances. 5.4 Preventing identity theft. Identity theft is a serious concern in today's digital age, and scam callers are often looking to obtain personal information that can be used for fraudulent purposes. Preventing identity theft is crucial to safeguarding your financial and personal well-being. In this section, we will explore some effective strategies to protect yourself from falling victim to identity theft through scam calls. 5.4.1 Be cautious with personal information. One of the most important steps in preventing identity theft is to be cautious with your personal information. Scammers often try to trick you into revealing sensitive details such as your social security number, bank account information, or credit card details. It is essential to remember that legitimate organizations will never ask for such information over the phone. To protect yourself, never provide personal information to unsolicited callers, even if they claim to be from a trusted institution. Instead, hang up and contact the organization directly using a verified phone number to verify the legitimacy of the call. 5.4.2 Strengthen your passwords. Another crucial aspect of preventing identity theft is to use strong and unique passwords for all your online accounts. Many people make the mistake of using simple and easily guessable passwords, making it easier for scammers to gain unauthorized access to their accounts. To create strong passwords, use a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Avoid using common words or personal information that can be easily guessed. Additionally, consider using a password manager to securely store and generate complex passwords for your various accounts. 5.4.3 Enable two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication (2FA) adds an extra layer of security to your online accounts by requiring a second form of verification, usually a unique code sent to your mobile device, in addition to your password. Enabling 2FA can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access to your accounts, even if scammers manage to obtain your password. Most popular online services, including email providers, social media platforms, and financial institutions, offer 2FA as an option. Take advantage of this feature to enhance the security of your accounts and protect yourself from identity theft. 5.4.4 Regularly monitor your financial accounts. Regularly monitoring your financial accounts is essential for detecting any suspicious activity that may indicate identity theft. Keep a close eye on your bank statements, credit card bills, and other financial transactions. If you notice any unauthorized charges or unfamiliar transactions, report them to your financial institution immediately. In addition to monitoring your accounts manually, consider using financial management tools or mobile apps that provide real-time alerts for any unusual activity. These tools can help you stay informed and take prompt action if any fraudulent transactions occur. 5.4.5 Shred sensitive documents. Physical documents containing personal information can also be targeted by identity thieves. To prevent this, it is important to shred any sensitive documents before disposing of them. This includes bank statements, credit card bills, medical records, and any other documents that contain personal details. Invest in a cross-cut shredder that turns documents into confetti-like pieces, making it nearly impossible for scammers to reconstruct them. By shredding your sensitive documents, you minimize the risk of someone obtaining your personal information through dumpster diving or other means. 5.4.6 Be wary of phishing attempts. Phishing is a common technique used by scammers to trick individuals into revealing their personal information. These attempts often come in the form of emails, text messages, or even scam calls. The scammers may pose as a legitimate organization, such as a bank or government agency, and request sensitive information. To protect yourself from phishing attempts, be cautious when clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown sources. Avoid providing personal information through email or over the phone unless you have verified the legitimacy of the request independently. 5.4.7 Regularly check your credit reports. Monitoring your credit reports is an effective way to detect any unauthorized activity or accounts opened in your name. By law, you are entitled to a free credit report from each of the major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once a year. Take advantage of this and review your credit reports regularly. Look for any unfamiliar accounts, addresses, or inquiries that could indicate fraudulent activity. If you notice anything suspicious, contact the credit bureau immediately to report the issue and take appropriate steps to protect your credit. 5.4.8 Secure your Wi-Fi network. Securing your home Wi-Fi network is crucial to prevent unauthorized access to your personal information. Ensure that your Wi-Fi network is password protected and use a strong, unique password. Additionally, consider enabling network encryption, such as WPA2, to further enhance the security of your network. Regularly update your router's firmware to ensure that you have the latest security patches. Avoid using public Wi-Fi networks for sensitive activities such as online banking or shopping, as these networks are often unsecured and can be easily compromised by scammers. 5.4.9 Educate yourself and stay informed. Staying informed about the latest scams and identity theft techniques is essential in protecting yourself from falling victim to fraud. Keep up to date with news and resources related to scam calls and identity theft prevention. Government agencies, consumer protection organizations, and financial institutions often provide educational materials and resources to help individuals protect themselves. By educating yourself and staying vigilant, you can minimize the risk of identity theft and protect your personal information from falling into the wrong hands. Remember, preventing identity theft requires a proactive approach and ongoing vigilance. By implementing these strategies and staying informed, you can significantly reduce the risk of becoming a victim of identity theft through scam calls. 6. Protecting vulnerable populations. 6.1 Scam calls targeting seniors. Scam calls targeting seniors have become increasingly prevalent in recent years. Scammers often view seniors as vulnerable targets due to their trusting nature and lack of familiarity with modern technology. These scammers employ various tactics to deceive and manipulate seniors into providing personal information or making financial transactions. In this section, we will explore the common types of scam calls that target seniors and discuss strategies to protect against them. 6.1.1 Types of scam calls targeting seniors. Grandparent scams. In this type of scam, the caller pretends to be a grandchild in distress, claiming to be in trouble and in need of immediate financial assistance. They rely on the emotional vulnerability of seniors to convince them to send money or provide sensitive information. Medicare scams. Scammers pose as Medicare representatives and attempt to obtain seniors' personal information, such as their Medicare number, by offering fake services or claiming to resolve billing issues. These scammers may use fear tactics, such as threatening to cancel benefits, to manipulate seniors into providing their information. Tech support scams. Scammers impersonate technical support representatives from well-known companies and claim that the senior's computer or device has been compromised. They then offer to fix the issue remotely for a fee or gain access to the senior's computer to steal personal information. Sweepstakes and lottery scams. Scammers inform seniors that they have won a large sum of money or a valuable prize but must pay a fee or provide personal information to claim their winnings. These scams often target seniors who may be more susceptible to the allure of a financial windfall. Charity scams. Scammers exploit seniors' generosity by posing as representatives of legitimate charitable organizations and requesting donations. They may use high-pressure tactics or emotional appeals to convince seniors to donate money, which is then pocketed by the scammer. 6.1.2 Protecting seniors from scam calls. Protecting seniors from scam calls requires a combination of education, communication, and technological solutions. Here are some strategies to help seniors avoid falling victim to scam calls. Educate seniors. Inform seniors about the various types of scam calls that target them and the tactics scammers use. Teach them to be skeptical of unsolicited calls and to never provide personal information or send money to unknown callers. Encourage open communication. Create an environment where seniors feel comfortable discussing any suspicious calls they receive. Encourage them to reach out to family members or trusted individuals for advice before taking any action. Implement call screening. Advise seniors to use call screening features available on their phones or consider installing call blocking apps. These tools can help identify and block known scam numbers, reducing the likelihood of receiving scam calls. Emphasize the importance of privacy. Remind seniors to be cautious about sharing personal information, such as their social security number or financial details, over the phone. Encourage them to verify the legitimacy of callers before providing any sensitive information. Stay updated on scam trends. Keep seniors informed about the latest scam call trends and techniques. This knowledge will help them recognize and avoid new scams that may target them. Consider power of attorney. In cases where seniors may be particularly vulnerable, it may be beneficial to establish a power of attorney. This legal arrangement allows a trusted individual to make financial decisions on behalf of the senior, reducing the risk of falling victim to scams. Report scam calls. Encourage seniors to report scam calls to the appropriate authorities, such as the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or local law enforcement. Reporting these incidents can help authorities track down scammers and prevent future victims. Seek support from community organizations. Connect seniors with local community organizations that offer resources and support for scam prevention. These organizations often provide educational workshops and materials to help seniors stay informed and protected. By implementing these strategies, seniors can reduce their vulnerability to scam calls and protect themselves from financial loss and identity theft. It is crucial to empower seniors with knowledge and support to ensure their safety in an increasingly digital world. 6.2 Scam calls targeting immigrants. Immigrants are often targeted by scam callers due to various reasons. Scammers take advantage of their unfamiliarity with the local systems, language barriers, and their desire to establish themselves in a new country. These scammers use different tactics to exploit immigrants financially and emotionally. In this section, we will explore the common scam call techniques used to target immigrants and discuss strategies to protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. 6.2.1 Language-based scams. One of the most common tactics used by scammers targeting immigrants is language-based scams. These scammers often pose as government officials, lawyers, or immigration consultants and contact immigrants in their native language. They exploit the trust immigrants have in their fellow countrymen and use language barriers to their advantage. These scammers may claim to offer assistance with immigration processes, such as visa applications or work permits, and demand payment for their services. They may also threaten immigrants with deportation or legal consequences if they do not comply with their demands. It is important to remember that legitimate government agencies and professionals will never ask for immediate payment or threaten you over the phone. To protect yourself from language-based scams, it is crucial to be cautious when receiving calls from unknown numbers. If someone claims to be a government official or an immigration consultant, ask for their name, organization, and contact information. Verify their credentials independently and never provide personal or financial information over the phone. 6.2.2 Financial scams. Scammers targeting immigrants often exploit their financial vulnerabilities. They may pose as representatives from banks, credit card companies, or financial institutions and trick immigrants into providing their banking details or making fraudulent payments. These scammers may also offer fake investment opportunities or promise to expedite immigration processes in exchange for money. To protect yourself from financial scams, it is important to be skeptical of unsolicited calls asking for personal or financial information. Never provide your banking details, social security number, or any other sensitive information over the phone unless you have initiated the call and are certain of the recipient's identity. If you receive a call regarding an investment opportunity, research the company independently and consult with a trusted financial advisor before making any decisions. 6.2.3 Immigration Scams. Immigrants are particularly vulnerable to scams related to immigration processes. Scammers may impersonate immigration officials and demand immediate payment for visa renewals, green card applications, or other immigration-related services. They may threaten immigrants with deportation or legal consequences if they do not comply with their demands. It is important to remember that legitimate immigration processes involve proper documentation, official forms, and fees payable through recognized channels. Government agencies will never demand immediate payment over the phone or threaten you with deportation. If you receive a call regarding your immigration status, ask for their name, organization, and contact information. Verify their credentials independently and report any suspicious calls to the appropriate authorities. 6.2.4 Education and Awareness. Education and awareness are key to protecting yourself from scam calls targeting immigrants. Stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and share this information with your community. Attend workshops or seminars that focus on scam call prevention and learn about the resources available to immigrants in your area. Additionally, familiarize yourself with the legitimate processes and requirements for immigration-related services. Understand the official channels for payments and document submissions. By being knowledgeable about the correct procedures, you can easily identify fraudulent calls and protect yourself from falling victim to scams. Remember, scammers often prey on vulnerability and lack of knowledge. By staying informed and vigilant, you can safeguard yourself and your community from scam calls targeting immigrants. Conclusion. Scam calls targeting immigrants are a serious issue that can have devastating financial and emotional consequences. By understanding the common scam call techniques used to target immigrants and implementing the strategies discussed in this section, you can protect yourself and your loved ones from falling victim to these scams. Stay informed, be cautious, and report any suspicious calls to the appropriate authorities. Together, we can combat scam calls and create a safer environment for everyone. 6.3 Scam calls targeting students. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics to target vulnerable populations, and students are no exception. With their limited experience and financial resources, students can be easy targets for scam callers. These scammers often exploit the naivety and lack of knowledge among students to deceive them into providing personal information or making financial transactions. In this section, we will explore the common scam call techniques used to target students and provide practical tips on how to protect yourself from falling victim to these scams. 6.3.1 Scholarship and financial aid scams. One prevalent scam targeting students involves fraudulent scholarship and financial aid offers. Scammers may contact students claiming to represent a prestigious scholarship program or a government agency offering financial assistance. They often use high-pressure tactics to convince students to provide personal information, such as their social security number or bank account details, under the guise of processing their application. To protect yourself from scholarship and financial aid scams. Do your research. Verify the legitimacy of the scholarship or financial aid program by independently researching the organization. Check their website, contact information, and reviews from other students who have received assistance from them. Never provide personal information over the phone. Legitimate scholarship programs and financial aid organizations will not ask for sensitive information over the phone. Be cautious if a caller insists on obtaining your social security number, bank account details, or credit card information. Contact the organization directly. If you receive a call regarding a scholarship or financial aid offer, hang up and contact the organization directly using their official contact information. This will help you confirm if the call was legitimate or a scam. 6.3.2 Job and internship scams. Scammers often target students searching for part-time jobs or internships. They may pose as employers offering attractive opportunities and request personal information or upfront payments for background checks or training materials. These scammers exploit the eagerness of students to gain work experience and financial independence. To avoid falling victim to job and internship scams. Research the company. Before providing any personal information or making any payments, thoroughly research the company offering the job or internship. Look for reviews, check their website, and verify their contact information. Be cautious of upfront payments. Legitimate employers will not ask you to pay for background checks, training materials, or any other expenses upfront. If a company requests payment before you start working, it is likely a scam. Trust your instincts. If a job offer seems too good to be true or if you feel pressured to provide personal information or make payments, trust your instincts and proceed with caution. Take your time to evaluate the offer and consult with someone you trust before making any decisions. 6.3.3 Student loan scams. Student loan scams specifically target students who are seeking financial assistance for their education. Scammers may contact students claiming to offer loan forgiveness programs, lower interest rates, or immediate loan approvals. They often request upfront fees or personal information to process the loan application. To protect yourself from student loan scams, verify the legitimacy of the lender. Before providing any personal information or making payments, verify the legitimacy of the lender. Check if they are registered with the appropriate regulatory authorities and research their reputation. Be cautious of upfront fees. Legitimate lenders will not ask for upfront fees to process your loan application. If a lender requests payment before providing any services, it is likely a scam. Contact your loan servicer directly. If you receive a call regarding your student loans, hang up and contact your loan servicer directly using their official contact information. They can provide you with accurate information about your loans and help you identify any potential scams. 6.3.4 Online Shopping Scams. With the rise of online shopping, students are increasingly vulnerable to online scams. Scammers may create fake online stores or advertise attractive deals on social media platforms to lure students into making purchases. They often collect payment information without delivering the promised products. To avoid online shopping scams, shop from reputable websites. Stick to well-known and reputable online retailers when making purchases. Check for secure payment options and read reviews from other customers before making a purchase. Be cautious of suspicious deals. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Scammers often use incredibly low prices to entice unsuspecting students. Research the seller and the product before making a purchase. Use secure payment methods. When making online purchases, use secure payment methods such as credit cards or trusted payment platforms. Avoid using wire transfers or prepaid cards, as these methods offer little to no protection against scams. By being aware of these common scam call techniques and following the provided tips, students can better protect themselves from falling victim to scam callers. Remember to always trust your instincts, research before providing personal information or making payments, and seek advice from trusted sources when in doubt. 6.4 Scam calls targeting small businesses. Small businesses are often targeted by scam callers due to their vulnerability and limited resources to combat such fraudulent activities. Scammers see small businesses as easy targets because they may not have the same level of awareness or protective measures in place as larger corporations. In this section, we will explore the common types of scam calls that target small businesses and discuss strategies to manage and protect your business from falling victim to these scams. 6.4.1 Types of scam calls targeting small businesses. Scammers employ various tactics to target small businesses, taking advantage of their busy schedules and limited knowledge about scam call techniques. It is crucial for small business owners and employees to be aware of these types of scam calls to effectively manage and protect their businesses. Here are some common types of scam calls that target small businesses. 6.4.1.1 Fake invoices and billing scams. Scammers may pose as suppliers, service providers, or even government agencies, sending fake invoices or bills to small businesses. They often use high-pressure tactics, threatening legal action or disruption of services if immediate payment is not made. Small businesses should always verify the authenticity of any invoices or bills received before making any payments. 6.4.1.2 Phishing scams. Phishing scams target small businesses by tricking them into revealing sensitive information such as login credentials, financial details, or customer data. Scammers may pose as reputable organizations, such as banks or software providers, and send emails or make phone calls requesting this information. Small businesses should be cautious and verify the legitimacy of any requests for sensitive information. 6.4.1.3 Tech support scams. In tech support scams, scammers pose as technical support representatives from well-known companies, claiming that there is a problem with the small business's computer systems or software. They may request remote access to the business's systems or ask for payment to fix the alleged issues. Small businesses should be wary of unsolicited tech support calls and should only seek assistance from trusted sources. 6.4.1.4 Business directory scams. Scammers may contact small businesses claiming to offer advertising or listing services in business directories. They often use deceptive tactics, misrepresenting the benefits and costs of these services. Small businesses should thoroughly research any offers and verify the legitimacy of the directory before making any commitments or payments. 6.4.2 Strategies to manage scam calls. Managing scam calls targeting small businesses requires a proactive approach to protect your business and employees from falling victim to these scams. Here are some strategies to effectively manage scam calls. 6.4.2.1 Educate employees. Ensure that all employees are aware of the types of scam calls that target small businesses and provide them with training on how to recognize and respond to these scams. Educate them about the importance of not sharing sensitive information over the phone and the need to verify the authenticity of any requests. 6.4.2.2 Implement call screening and blocking. Consider implementing call screening and blocking technologies to filter out scam calls. Many phone systems and service providers offer features that allow you to block specific numbers or send calls from unknown numbers directly to voicemail. Regularly review and update your blocked number list to stay ahead of scammers. 6.4.2.3 Establish verification procedures. Develop and implement verification procedures for any requests for sensitive information or payments. Train employees to verify the identity of callers by asking for specific information or contacting the organization directly using verified contact details. This can help prevent falling victim to phishing or fake invoice scams. 6.4.2.4 Monitor and report scam calls. Encourage employees to report any scam calls they receive to the appropriate authorities, such as the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or local law enforcement agencies. Keeping track of scam call incidents can help identify patterns and trends, enabling law enforcement to take action against scammers. 6.4.2.5 Stay informed and updated. Regularly stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and trends targeting small businesses. Subscribe to newsletters, follow reputable sources, and participate in industry forums to stay updated on emerging scams. This knowledge will help you and your employees recognize and respond effectively to new scam call tactics. 6.4.3 Protecting your small business. In addition to managing scam calls, it is essential to take proactive steps to protect your small business from falling victim to these scams. Here are some additional measures you can take. 6.4.3.1 Implement strong cybersecurity measures. Ensure that your small business has robust cybersecurity measures in place, including firewalls, antivirus software, and regular software updates. Train employees on best practices for data security, such as using strong passwords, encrypting sensitive information, and being cautious of suspicious emails or attachments. 6.4.3.2 Regularly backup data. Regularly backup your business's data to secure locations, both on-site and off-site. This will help protect your business from data loss in the event of a scam or cyber attack. Test the restoration process periodically to ensure the integrity of your backups. 6.4.3.3 Use secure payment methods. When making payments to suppliers or service providers, use secure payment methods such as credit cards or trusted online payment platforms. Avoid making payments through wire transfers or other non-traceable methods, as these can be exploited by scammers. 6.4.3.4 Establish vendor due diligence. Before entering into any business agreements or partnerships, conduct thorough due diligence on potential vendors or suppliers. Verify their legitimacy, check their reputation, and review any contracts or agreements carefully before signing. 6.4.3.5 Stay vigilant and trust your instincts. Trust your instincts and be cautious of any unsolicited calls or requests for sensitive information. If something feels off or too good to be true, it probably is. Take the time to verify the authenticity of any requests or offers before taking any action. By implementing these strategies and taking proactive measures, small businesses can effectively manage and protect themselves from scam calls. Stay informed, educate your employees, and remain vigilant to ensure the security and success of your business. 7. Legal actions against scammers. 7.1 Understanding the legal landscape. In the fight against scam callers, it is essential to understand the legal landscape surrounding these fraudulent activities. This knowledge empowers individuals to take appropriate legal actions against scammers and seek justice for the harm caused. In this section, we will explore the legal aspects of scam call control, including the laws and regulations in place, filing complaints with regulatory agencies, taking legal action against scammers, and working with law enforcement. 7.1.1 Laws and regulations. Various laws and regulations have been enacted to combat scam calls and protect consumers from falling victim to these deceptive practices. Understanding these legal frameworks is crucial for individuals seeking to take legal action against scammers. Some of the key laws and regulations include Telephone Consumer Protection Act (TCPA). The TCPA is a federal law in the United States that restricts telemarketing calls, robocalls, and the use of automated dialing systems. It requires telemarketers to obtain prior written consent before making marketing calls to consumers. Truth in Caller ID Act. This act prohibits the manipulation of caller ID information with the intent to defraud, cause harm, or wrongfully obtain anything of value. It aims to prevent caller ID spoofing, a common technique used by scammers to deceive victims. Do Not Call Registry. Many countries, including the United States, have established do not call registries that allow consumers to opt out of receiving telemarketing calls. Telemarketers are legally obligated to respect these preferences and refrain from contacting registered individuals. Consumer protection laws. Consumer protection laws vary from country to country but generally aim to safeguard consumers from fraudulent and deceptive practices. These laws often cover a wide range of consumer transactions, including scam calls. Data protection and privacy laws. Data protection and privacy laws, such as the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) in the European Union, regulate the collection, storage, and use of personal data. These laws play a crucial role in protecting individuals' personal information from falling into the hands of scammers. 7.1.2 Filing complaints with regulatory agencies. When individuals encounter scam calls, it is important to report these incidents to the appropriate regulatory agencies. Filing complaints helps regulatory bodies track scam call trends, identify repeat offenders, and take necessary actions against scammers. Here are some steps to follow when filing a complaint. Document the details. Take note of the date, time, and nature of the scam call. If possible, record the caller's phone number, name if provided, and any other relevant information. Contact your local regulatory agency. Research the regulatory agency responsible for handling scam call complaints in your country or region. In the United States, for example, you can report scam calls to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. Submit a complaint. Visit the regulatory agency's website or call their designated hotline to submit your complaint. Provide all the necessary details and any supporting evidence you have gathered. Cooperate with the investigation. If the regulatory agency initiates an investigation based on your complaint, be prepared to provide additional information or testify if required. Your cooperation can significantly contribute to the agency's efforts in combating scam calls. 7.1.3 Taking legal action against scammers. While filing complaints with regulatory agencies is an important step, individuals may also consider taking legal action against scammers to seek compensation for any damages incurred. Here are some options to explore. Consult an attorney. Seek legal advice from an attorney who specializes in consumer protection or telecommunications law. They can guide you through the legal process and help determine the best course of action based on your specific circumstances. Small claims court. In cases involving relatively small amounts of money, individuals may choose to file a lawsuit in small claims court. Small claims courts provide a simplified and cost-effective process for resolving disputes without the need for extensive legal representation. Class action lawsuits. If a large number of individuals have been affected by the same scam or scammer, a class action lawsuit may be an option. By joining forces with other victims, individuals can collectively pursue legal action against the scammers. Civil lawsuits. In more complex cases or when significant damages are involved, individuals may file civil lawsuits against scammers. These lawsuits seek compensation for financial losses, emotional distress, and other damages resulting from the scam calls. 7.1.4 Working with law enforcement. Collaborating with law enforcement agencies can be instrumental in bringing scammers to justice. While regulatory agencies primarily focus on enforcing laws and regulations, law enforcement agencies have the authority to investigate and prosecute criminal activities. Here are some steps to take when working with law enforcement. File a police report. If you have been a victim of a scam call, file a police report with your local law enforcement agency. Provide them with all the relevant details and any evidence you have gathered. Cooperate with investigations. If law enforcement agencies initiate an investigation based on your report, cooperate fully by providing additional information, testifying if required, and assisting in any way possible. Stay informed. Keep in touch with the investigating officer or agency to stay updated on the progress of the case. Provide any new information that may arise and follow their guidance throughout the process. Support prosecution. If the case goes to trial, be prepared to testify as a witness. Your testimony can play a crucial role in securing a conviction and preventing scammers from victimizing others. Understanding the legal landscape surrounding scam call control is essential for individuals seeking justice and taking action against scammers. By familiarizing themselves with the laws and regulations, filing complaints with regulatory agencies, considering legal action, and cooperating with law enforcement, individuals can contribute to the collective effort of combating scam calls and protecting themselves and others from falling victim to these fraudulent activities. 7.2 Filing complaints with regulatory agencies. Filing complaints with regulatory agencies is an important step in taking legal action against scam callers. Regulatory agencies play a crucial role in investigating and prosecuting scammers, as well as enforcing laws and regulations related to scam call activities. By filing a complaint, you not only contribute to the fight against scam calls but also help protect others from falling victim to these fraudulent activities. 7.2.1 Choosing the right regulatory agency. When filing a complaint, it is essential to choose the appropriate regulatory agency that has jurisdiction over scam call activities. Different agencies have different areas of expertise and authority, so it is important to identify the agency that can best address your specific complaint. Here are some common regulatory agencies that handle scam call complaints. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. The FTC is the primary agency responsible for protecting consumers against unfair and deceptive practices, including scam calls. They have a dedicated division called the Consumer Protection Bureau that handles complaints related to scam calls and takes legal action against scammers. Federal Communications Commission, FCC. The FCC regulates telecommunications in the United States and has the authority to enforce laws related to scam calls. They focus on issues such as unwanted telemarketing calls, robocalls, and caller ID spoofing. The FCC works closely with the FTC to combat scam call activities. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. The CFPB is responsible for protecting consumers in the financial sector. While they primarily focus on financial scams, they also handle complaints related to scam calls that involve financial transactions or fraudulent activities targeting consumers' finances. State Attorney General's Office. Each state has its own Attorney General's Office, which is responsible for enforcing state laws and protecting consumers. They often have divisions or units dedicated to handling consumer complaints, including those related to scam calls. Contacting your state's Attorney General's office can be an effective way to report scam call activities. Better Business Bureau (BBB). Although not a regulatory agency, the BBB is a reputable organization that collects and investigates consumer complaints against businesses. While they may not have the authority to take legal action, filing a complaint with the BBB can help raise awareness about scam call activities and potentially lead to resolution or mediation. 7.2.2 Gathering information for the complaint. Before filing a complaint with a regulatory agency, it is important to gather as much information as possible about the scam call and the caller. This information will help the agency in their investigation and increase the chances of taking legal action against the scammer. Here are some key pieces of information to gather. Caller's phone number. Note down the phone number from which the scam call originated. This information is crucial for tracking and identifying the scammer. Date and time of the call. Record the date and time of the scam call. This information helps establish a pattern of scam call activities and assists in the investigation. Nature of the scam call. Describe the nature of the scam call, including the type of scam, the techniques used, and any specific details about the scammer's approach. This information helps regulatory agencies understand the tactics employed by scammers. Any supporting evidence. If you have any supporting evidence, such as recorded calls, voicemails, or text messages, make sure to keep them as they can strengthen your complaint. Your personal information. Provide your contact information, including your name, address, and phone number. This allows the regulatory agency to reach out to you for further information or updates regarding your complaint. 7.2.3 Filing the complaint. Once you have gathered all the necessary information, it's time to file the complaint with the chosen regulatory agency. Most regulatory agencies provide online complaint forms or hotlines for reporting scam calls. Here are the general steps to follow when filing a complaint. Visit the agency's website. Go to the website of the regulatory agency you have chosen to file the complaint with. Look for the section related to scam call complaints or consumer protection. Fill out the complaint form. If there is an online complaint form available, fill it out with the required information. Provide all the details about the scam call, the caller, and any supporting evidence you have. Submit the complaint. Once you have completed the complaint form, submit it through the agency's online system. Make sure to review all the information before submitting to ensure accuracy. Follow up on the complaint. After submitting the complaint, you may receive a confirmation email or reference number. Keep this information for future reference and follow up with the agency if necessary. 7.2.4 Working with the regulatory agency. After filing the complaint, the regulatory agency will review the information provided and determine the appropriate course of action. Here are some important points to keep in mind when working with the agency. Provide additional information if requested. If the agency requires additional information or evidence to support your complaint, make sure to provide it promptly. This may include providing copies of recorded calls, text messages, or any other relevant documentation. Cooperate with the investigation. If the agency decides to investigate the scam call, cooperate fully with their investigation. This may involve providing further details, answering questions, or providing testimony if necessary. Stay informed about the progress. Keep track of any updates or communications from the regulatory agency regarding your complaint. This will help you stay informed about the progress of the investigation and any actions taken against the scammer. Be patient. Investigations and legal proceedings can take time. Be patient and understand that the regulatory agency is working diligently to address your complaint and take appropriate action against the scammer. Filing complaints with regulatory agencies is an important step in combating scam calls and protecting consumers. By taking the initiative to report scam call activities, you contribute to the collective effort in holding scammers accountable and creating a safer environment for everyone. Remember, every complaint matters, and together we can make a difference in the fight against scam calls. 7.3 Taking legal action against scammers. While ignoring and blocking scam calls can provide some relief, taking legal action against scammers is an important step in combating this pervasive issue. By holding scammers accountable for their actions, we can not only seek justice for ourselves but also help protect others from falling victim to their deceptive tactics. In this section, we will explore the various legal avenues available to individuals who want to take action against scam callers. 7.3.1 Understanding the legal landscape. Before diving into the specifics of taking legal action, it is crucial to understand the legal landscape surrounding scam calls. Laws and regulations related to scam calls can vary from country to country, and even within different regions of the same country. Familiarizing yourself with the laws in your jurisdiction will help you navigate the legal process effectively. In many countries, scam calls are illegal, and there are specific laws in place to address this issue. These laws typically prohibit fraudulent activities, such as impersonation, deceptive practices, and harassment. Additionally, there may be specific regulations governing telemarketing and the use of automated calling systems. 7.3.2 Filing complaints with regulatory agencies. One of the first steps you can take when dealing with scam calls is to file a complaint with the appropriate regulatory agency. These agencies are responsible for enforcing laws and regulations related to telecommunications and consumer protection. By reporting scam calls, you not only raise awareness about the issue but also provide valuable information that can aid in investigations and legal actions against scammers. In the United States, for example, you can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, or the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. These agencies have online complaint forms where you can provide details about the scam call, including the caller's phone number, the nature of the scam, and any other relevant information. Similarly, other countries have their own regulatory bodies that handle complaints related to scam calls. 7.3.3 Taking legal action. If you have been a victim of a scam call and have suffered financial loss or emotional distress as a result, you may consider taking legal action against the scammers. While the process can be complex and time-consuming, it can be a powerful way to seek justice and potentially recover your losses. 7.3.3.1 Gathering evidence. Before taking legal action, it is essential to gather as much evidence as possible to support your case. This evidence may include call recordings, voicemails, text messages, emails, or any other communication you have had with the scammers. Additionally, document any financial transactions or losses incurred due to the scam call. 7.3.3.2 Consulting with an attorney. To navigate the legal process effectively, it is advisable to consult with an attorney who specializes in consumer protection or telecommunications law. They can provide guidance on the specific laws and regulations applicable to your case and help you understand the legal options available to you. 7.3.3.3 Small Claims Court. In some cases, the financial loss incurred due to a scam call may fall within the jurisdiction of Small Claims Court. Small Claims Court is designed to handle disputes involving smaller amounts of money, typically up to a certain limit set by the jurisdiction. It is a simplified and cost-effective way to seek compensation without the need for extensive legal proceedings. 7.3.3.4 Class Action Lawsuits. If you have been a victim of a scam call along with a large group of individuals, you may consider joining or initiating a class action lawsuit. A class action lawsuit allows multiple victims to collectively sue the scammers, increasing the chances of success and potentially resulting in higher compensation for all involved. 7.3.3.5 Civil Lawsuits. In cases where the financial loss or damages are significant, pursuing a civil lawsuit against the scammers may be appropriate. Civil lawsuits can be more complex and require a higher burden of proof compared to small claims court or class action lawsuits. However, they can provide an opportunity to seek substantial compensation and hold the scammers accountable for their actions. 7.3.4 Working with law enforcement. In addition to taking legal action individually, it is crucial to report scam calls to local law enforcement agencies. While they may not be able to investigate every individual case, reporting scam calls helps create a record of the scammers' activities and contributes to the overall fight against scam calls. Law enforcement agencies may collaborate with regulatory bodies, such as the FTC or FCC, to share information and coordinate efforts to combat scam calls. By reporting scam calls to both regulatory agencies and law enforcement, you increase the chances of scammers being identified and prosecuted. Remember to provide law enforcement with any evidence you have gathered, such as call recordings or messages, to support their investigations. Cooperation between individuals, regulatory agencies, and law enforcement is crucial in the fight against scam calls. Conclusion. Taking legal action against scammers is an important step in combating scam calls. By understanding the legal landscape, filing complaints with regulatory agencies, and exploring legal options such as small claims court, class action lawsuits, or civil lawsuits, you can seek justice and potentially recover your losses. Additionally, reporting scam calls to law enforcement agencies contributes to the overall effort of combating scam calls and protecting others from falling victim to these deceptive practices. 7.4 Working with law enforcement. Working with law enforcement is an essential step in combating scam callers and bringing them to justice. While individuals can take certain actions to protect themselves from scam calls, law enforcement agencies have the authority and resources to investigate and prosecute scammers. By reporting scam calls and providing information to law enforcement, you can play a crucial role in helping to stop these fraudulent activities. 7.4.1 Reporting scam calls to law enforcement. When you receive a scam call, it is important to report it to the appropriate law enforcement agency. This helps create a record of the scam and provides valuable information for investigations. Different countries have different agencies responsible for handling scam calls, so it is essential to know the correct agency to contact in your jurisdiction. In the United States, for example, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, is the primary agency responsible for handling scam calls. They have a dedicated website and hotline where individuals can report scam calls and provide details about the incident. Similarly, other countries have their own regulatory bodies or law enforcement agencies that handle scam call reports. When reporting a scam call, make sure to provide as much information as possible. This includes the phone number of the scammer, any identifying information they provided, and a detailed description of the scam call itself. The more information you can provide, the better equipped law enforcement will be to investigate and take action against the scammers. 7.4.2 Providing evidence to law enforcement. In addition to reporting scam calls, providing evidence to law enforcement can significantly aid in their investigations. If you have recorded a scam call or have any other form of evidence, such as text messages or emails, it is important to share this with the appropriate authorities. This evidence can help establish the identity of the scammer and strengthen the case against them. When providing evidence, it is crucial to follow the legal procedures and guidelines set by law enforcement agencies. They may require specific formats or documentation to ensure the evidence is admissible in court. It is advisable to consult with law enforcement or seek legal advice to understand the proper procedures for submitting evidence. 7.4.3 Collaborating with law enforcement. Law enforcement agencies often collaborate with other organizations and agencies to combat scam calls effectively. This collaboration can involve sharing information, coordinating investigations, and pooling resources to target scam call networks. As an individual, you can also contribute to these collaborative efforts by sharing any relevant information or experiences you have with scam calls. Law enforcement agencies may also work closely with telecommunications companies and technology providers to develop strategies and tools for scam call control. By sharing your experiences and insights, you can contribute to the development of effective solutions that can benefit everyone. 7.4.4 Protecting your privacy and safety. When working with law enforcement, it is essential to prioritize your privacy and safety. Scammers can be sophisticated and may attempt to retaliate or target individuals who report their activities. To protect yourself, follow these guidelines. Keep your personal information secure. Avoid sharing sensitive information with anyone unless you are certain of their identity and legitimacy. Use secure communication channels. When communicating with law enforcement, use secure methods such as encrypted email or phone calls to protect your information. Follow law enforcement instructions. If law enforcement requests additional information or assistance, follow their instructions carefully to ensure your safety and the success of their investigation. Be cautious of scams targeting reporters. Scammers may pose as law enforcement officials or representatives from regulatory agencies to trick individuals into providing more information. Verify the legitimacy of any requests before sharing information. Remember, your safety and well-being are paramount. If you ever feel threatened or unsafe, contact your local law enforcement agency immediately. Working with law enforcement is a vital step in the fight against scam callers. By reporting scam calls, providing evidence, and collaborating with law enforcement agencies, you can help protect yourself and others from falling victim to these fraudulent activities. Together, we can work towards a future free from scam calls. 8. Technological solutions for scam call control. 8.1 Call blocking apps and services. In the battle against scam callers, technology has emerged as a powerful ally. Call blocking apps and services have become increasingly popular in recent years, providing individuals with effective tools to manage and control unwanted calls. These apps and services offer a range of features designed to identify and block scam callers, providing users with peace of mind and protection from potential scams. 8.1.1 How call blocking apps work. Call blocking apps utilize various techniques to identify and block scam callers. One common method is through the use of a vast database of known scam numbers. These apps constantly update their databases with new scam numbers reported by users and other reliable sources. When a call comes in, the app compares the incoming number against its database, and if it matches a known scam number, it automatically blocks the call. Another technique used by call blocking apps is caller ID authentication. These apps analyze the caller ID information and assess its authenticity. If the app detects any signs of caller ID spoofing or manipulation, it can flag the call as potentially fraudulent and block it. Some call blocking apps also employ artificial intelligence (AI) algorithms to analyze call patterns and identify potential scam calls. These algorithms can detect common scam call techniques, such as robocalls or phishing attempts, and block them in real time. 8.1.2 Features of call blocking apps. Call blocking apps offer a range of features to enhance their effectiveness in managing scam callers. Here are some common features you can expect to find. Blacklisting and whitelisting. Call blocking apps allow users to create their own blacklists and whitelists. Blacklists contain numbers that you want to block, such as known scam numbers or persistent telemarketers. Whitelists, on the other hand, contain numbers that you want to allow through, such as important contacts or emergency services. By customizing these lists, you have greater control over which calls are blocked and which are allowed. Call filtering and screening. Call filtering and screening features enable users to set specific criteria for blocking calls. For example, you can choose to block calls from specific area codes or block calls that are not in your contacts list. These features help to filter out unwanted calls and reduce the chances of falling victim to scams. Do Not Disturb mode. Many call blocking apps offer a Do Not Disturb mode, which allows you to silence all incoming calls except for those from contacts in your whitelist. This feature is particularly useful when you want uninterrupted time or need to avoid potential scam calls during certain hours. Call recording and reporting. Some call blocking apps provide the option to record calls for future reference or evidence. This can be helpful if you need to report a scam call to the authorities or share it with others to raise awareness. Additionally, these apps often have a reporting feature that allows users to report scam calls directly to the app developers or relevant regulatory agencies. 8.1.3 Popular call blocking apps and services. There are numerous call blocking apps and services available for both Android and iOS devices. Here are a few popular ones. Truecaller. Truecaller is one of the most widely used call blocking apps. It has a large database of known scam numbers and offers features like caller ID, call blocking, and spam detection. Truecaller also allows users to report spam calls and contribute to its growing database. Hiya. Hiya is another popular call blocking app that provides real-time spam and scam call protection. It offers features like caller ID, call blocking, and spam detection. Hiya also integrates with popular messaging apps to provide protection against spam messages. Nomorobo. Nomorobo is a call blocking service that works on both landlines and mobile devices. It uses a database of known scam numbers and offers features like call blocking and spam detection. Nomorobo is particularly effective in blocking robocalls. RoboKiller. RoboKiller is an app specifically designed to combat robocalls. It uses AI algorithms to analyze call patterns and identify potential robocalls. RoboKiller offers features like call blocking, spam detection, and even provides entertaining pre-recorded responses to waste the time of scammers. 8.1.4 Choosing the right call blocking app. When selecting a call blocking app or service, consider the following factors. Compatibility. Ensure that the app or service is compatible with your device's operating system. Check if it is available for Android, iOS, or both. User reviews and ratings. Read user reviews and ratings to get an idea of the app's effectiveness and user experience. Look for apps with positive reviews and high ratings. Features. Consider the features offered by the app and determine if they align with your specific needs. Look for features like caller ID, call blocking, spam detection, and reporting. Cost. Some call blocking apps are free, while others offer premium features at a cost. Decide if you are willing to pay for additional features or if the free version meets your requirements. Updates and support. Check if the app receives regular updates and has good customer support. Regular updates ensure that the app stays up to date with the latest scam call techniques, while good customer support can assist you in case of any issues or concerns. By utilizing call blocking apps and services, you can take control of your incoming calls and protect yourself from scam callers. These tools provide an additional layer of defense against potential scams, allowing you to enjoy a safer and more secure phone experience. 8.2 Using caller ID authentication. Caller ID authentication is a powerful tool in the fight against scam callers. It helps verify the legitimacy of incoming calls by confirming the identity of the caller. By implementing this technology, individuals can have more confidence in the calls they receive and can better protect themselves from falling victim to scams. 8.2.1 How caller ID authentication works. Caller ID authentication works by verifying the authenticity of the caller's phone number. It ensures that the number displayed on the recipient's caller ID is accurate and hasn't been spoofed or manipulated by scammers. This authentication process relies on a combination of technologies and protocols, such as STIR, Secure Telephone Identity Revisited, signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens. STIR is a framework that enables service providers to digitally sign and verify the authenticity of calls. It works by using cryptographic certificates to validate the calling party's identity and ensure that the caller's number hasn't been tampered with. When a call is made, the originating service provider signs the call with a certificate, and the recipient's service provider verifies the signature to confirm the call's legitimacy. 8.2.2 Benefits of caller ID authentication. Implementing caller ID authentication offers several benefits in the fight against scam callers. Increased trust. Caller ID authentication helps build trust between callers and recipients. When individuals see a verified caller ID, they can have more confidence that the call is legitimate and not a scam. Reduced spoofing. Scammers often manipulate caller ID information to make their calls appear to come from a trusted source. Caller ID authentication helps prevent this spoofing by verifying the authenticity of the caller's number. Improved call blocking. Caller ID authentication enhances call blocking capabilities by providing more accurate information about the caller. Service providers can use this information to identify and block calls from known scam numbers, reducing the number of scam calls that reach individuals. Enhanced consumer protection. By implementing caller ID authentication, individuals are better protected from falling victim to scams. They can make more informed decisions about answering calls and can avoid engaging with fraudulent callers. 8.2.3 Implementing caller ID authentication. To take advantage of caller ID authentication, individuals can follow these steps. Check with service provider. Contact your phone service provider to inquire about their caller ID authentication capabilities. Ask if they support STIR, or any other authentication protocols. Enable caller ID authentication. If your service provider supports caller ID authentication, ask them to enable it for your phone line. They may require you to update your phone software or make some configuration changes. Verify caller ID. Once caller ID authentication is enabled, pay attention to the caller ID information displayed on your phone. Look for indicators that the call has been verified, such as a checkmark or a verified label. Report suspicious calls. Even with caller ID authentication, some scam calls may still get through. If you receive a suspicious call, report it to your service provider and any relevant authorities. This helps them track and take action against scammers. 8.2.4 Limitations of Caller ID Authentication. While caller ID authentication is a valuable tool, it does have some limitations. Limited adoption. Caller ID authentication relies on service providers implementing the necessary technologies and protocols. As of now, not all service providers have adopted these measures, which means that not all calls will be authenticated. International calls. Caller ID authentication is primarily designed for domestic calls. It may not be as effective for international calls, as different countries may have varying levels of adoption and compatibility with the authentication protocols. New scam techniques. Scammers are constantly evolving their techniques to bypass security measures. While caller ID authentication can help identify and block known scam numbers, scammers may find ways to circumvent these measures or use new tactics that haven't been identified yet. Conclusion. Caller ID authentication is a valuable tool in the fight against scam callers. By verifying the authenticity of the caller's phone number, individuals can have more confidence in the calls they receive and can better protect themselves from falling victim to scams. While caller ID authentication has its limitations, it is an important step forward in the battle against scam calls. By implementing this technology and staying informed about the latest developments, individuals can take control of their phone calls and reduce the risk of becoming a scam victim. 8.3 Artificial Intelligence in Scam Call Detection. Artificial intelligence (AI) has revolutionized various industries, and the fight against scam calls is no exception. With the increasing sophistication of scammers, traditional methods of scam call detection have become less effective. However, AI-powered solutions have emerged as a powerful tool in identifying and blocking scam calls, providing individuals with enhanced protection and peace of mind. 8.3.1 How AI detects scam calls. AI algorithms are designed to analyze and understand patterns, behaviors, and characteristics of scam calls. By leveraging machine learning techniques, AI systems can continuously learn and adapt to new scamming techniques, making them highly effective in detecting and preventing fraudulent calls. One of the key ways AI detects scam calls is through voice analysis. AI algorithms can analyze the tone, pitch, and speech patterns of the caller to determine if it matches known scam call patterns. For example, scammers often use aggressive or coercive language to manipulate their victims. AI can identify these patterns and flag the call as potentially fraudulent. AI can also analyze the content of the call, including keywords and phrases commonly used in scam calls. By comparing the call content to a vast database of known scam call scripts, AI can identify suspicious patterns and alert the user. This helps individuals avoid falling victim to scams such as fake lottery winnings, investment schemes, or tech support scams. 8.3.2 Real-time call analysis. One of the significant advantages of AI in scam call detection is its ability to analyze calls in real time. Traditional methods often rely on predefined rules or blacklists, which can be limited in their effectiveness. AI, on the other hand, can analyze each call as it happens, providing immediate feedback and protection. AI-powered systems can analyze various aspects of the call, including the caller's voice, background noise, and call duration. By considering multiple factors simultaneously, AI can make more accurate determinations about the call's legitimacy. For example, if the caller's voice matches a known scammer's voice and the call originates from a high-risk area, AI can flag the call as suspicious. 8.3.3 Continuous learning and adaptation. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics to bypass traditional security measures. However, AI-powered scam call detection systems can adapt and learn from new scamming techniques. By continuously analyzing and updating their databases, AI algorithms can stay one step ahead of scammers. AI systems can learn from user feedback as well. If a user reports a call as a scam, the AI can analyze the call data and incorporate it into its database, improving its ability to detect similar scam calls in the future. This feedback loop ensures that the AI system becomes more accurate and effective over time. 8.3.4 Integration with call blocking apps and services. AI-powered scam call detection can be seamlessly integrated with call blocking apps and services. These apps use AI algorithms to analyze incoming calls and determine their legitimacy. If a call is identified as a scam, the app can automatically block it, preventing the user from answering or being exposed to potential scams. Additionally, AI can provide users with real-time notifications and warnings about incoming calls. This allows individuals to make informed decisions about whether to answer a call or let it go to voicemail. By combining AI-powered scam call detection with call blocking apps, users can significantly reduce their exposure to fraudulent calls. 8.3.5 Limitations and challenges. While AI has proven to be a valuable tool in scam call detection, it is not without its limitations and challenges. Scammers are constantly finding new ways to deceive individuals, and AI algorithms may not always be able to keep up with the rapidly evolving tactics. False positives and false negatives are also potential challenges. AI algorithms may mistakenly flag legitimate calls as scams or fail to identify sophisticated scamming techniques. However, continuous learning and user feedback can help mitigate these issues over time. Furthermore, the effectiveness of AI-powered scam call detection relies on the quality and accuracy of the data it analyzes. If the database of known scam call patterns is incomplete or outdated, the AI system may not be as effective in detecting new scams. 8.3.6 The future of AI in scam call detection. As technology continues to advance, so does the potential for AI in scam call detection. Researchers and developers are constantly working on improving AI algorithms to better identify and block scam calls. One area of future development is the integration of natural language processing, (NLP), into AI systems. NLP can enhance the understanding of call content, allowing AI to detect more subtle scamming techniques and adapt to new forms of social engineering. Additionally, advancements in voice recognition technology can help AI systems identify unique voice prints associated with known scammers. This can provide an additional layer of protection by flagging calls from known fraudsters, even if they change their tactics or use different phone numbers. Collaboration among AI developers, telecommunications companies, and regulatory authorities is crucial for the future of scam call detection. By sharing data and insights, these stakeholders can work together to create a more robust and comprehensive AI-powered defense against scam calls. In conclusion, AI has emerged as a powerful tool in the fight against scam calls. Its ability to analyze voice patterns, call content, and real-time data makes it highly effective in detecting and blocking fraudulent calls. While there are limitations and challenges, ongoing advancements in AI technology hold great promise for the future of scam call detection and prevention. 8.4 Future innovations in scam call control. As technology continues to evolve, so do the methods used by scammers to target unsuspecting individuals. However, there is also a constant effort to develop innovative solutions to combat scam calls and protect consumers. In this section, we will explore some of the future innovations in scam call control that hold promise in the ongoing battle against fraudulent activities. 8.4.1 Advanced Call Analytics. One of the key areas of focus in scam call control is the development of advanced call analytics systems. These systems utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to analyze call patterns, identify suspicious behavior, and detect potential scam calls in real time. By analyzing various factors such as call frequency, call duration, and caller behavior, these systems can accurately determine the likelihood of a call being a scam. Advanced call analytics can also help in identifying new scam call techniques and patterns as they emerge. By continuously learning from new data and adapting to evolving scam tactics, these systems can stay one step ahead of scammers and provide better protection to consumers. 8.4.2 Voice Biometrics. Voice biometrics is another promising technology that can be utilized in scam call control. By analyzing the unique characteristics of an individual's voice biometrics systems can verify the caller's identity and detect potential impersonation attempts. This technology can help in distinguishing between legitimate callers and scammers who try to deceive individuals by pretending to be someone else, such as a bank representative or a government official. Voice biometrics can also be used in combination with advanced call analytics to create a more robust scam call detection system. By comparing the caller's voice against a database of known scammer voices, these systems can provide an additional layer of security and help in preventing fraudulent activities. 8.4.3 Blockchain Technology. Blockchain technology, which is primarily known for its association with cryptocurrencies, also holds potential in scam call control. By leveraging the decentralized and immutable nature of blockchain, it is possible to create a secure and transparent system for call verification and authentication. In a blockchain-based scam call control system, each call would be recorded on the blockchain, along with relevant information such as the caller's identity, call duration, and purpose. This information can then be verified by the recipient, ensuring that the call is legitimate and not a scam attempt. Additionally, blockchain technology can also enable the creation of a reputation system, where callers are assigned a trust score based on their previous call history, making it easier to identify potential scammers. 8.4.4 Enhanced Call Blocking and Filtering. Call blocking and filtering apps have become popular tools for individuals to protect themselves from scam calls. However, future innovations in this area aim to enhance the effectiveness of these tools even further. One such innovation is the development of dynamic call blocking algorithms that can adapt to new scam call techniques. These algorithms can analyze incoming calls in real time, identify suspicious patterns, and automatically block or redirect them to a separate voicemail system. By constantly updating their databases with new scam call information, these algorithms can provide more accurate and reliable protection to users. Additionally, advancements in machine learning and natural language processing can enable call blocking apps to analyze the content of a call and determine its legitimacy. By detecting keywords and phrases commonly used in scam calls, these apps can identify potential threats and warn users before they fall victim to fraudulent activities. 8.4.5 Collaboration and Information Sharing. In the fight against scam calls, collaboration and information sharing among various stakeholders play a crucial role. Future innovations in scam call control aim to strengthen these collaborative efforts and create a more unified approach to combating fraudulent activities. One such initiative is the development of centralized databases that store information about known scam callers and their techniques. These databases can be accessed by telecom service providers, call blocking apps, and regulatory agencies, allowing them to share information and coordinate their efforts more effectively. By pooling their resources and knowledge, these stakeholders can create a comprehensive network that can quickly identify and neutralize scam calls. Furthermore, international cooperation is also essential in addressing the global nature of scam calls. Future innovations aim to establish better communication channels and cooperation among international authorities, enabling them to share information, exchange best practices, and coordinate legal actions against scammers operating across borders. In conclusion, the battle against scam calls is an ongoing one, but with the continuous development of innovative technologies and collaborative efforts, there is hope for a future where individuals can be better protected from fraudulent activities. Advanced call analytics, voice biometrics, blockchain technology, enhanced call blocking and filtering, and improved collaboration and information sharing are just a few of the future innovations that hold promise in scam call control. By staying vigilant and embracing these innovations, we can work towards a scam-free future. 9. Educating yourself and others. 9.1 Staying informed about scam call trends. In order to effectively protect yourself from scam callers, it is crucial to stay informed about the latest scam call trends. Scammers are constantly evolving their techniques and tactics to deceive unsuspecting individuals, so it is important to stay one step ahead. By staying informed, you can better recognize and avoid falling victim to these scams. This section will provide you with some valuable tips on how to stay informed about scam call trends. 9.1.1 Follow news and updates. One of the best ways to stay informed about scam call trends is to follow news and updates related to scams and frauds. There are numerous reputable sources that regularly report on the latest scam call techniques, new types of scams, and emerging trends. Stay updated by subscribing to newsletters, following trusted websites, and setting up Google alerts for scam call-related keywords. By staying informed, you can learn about the latest tactics scammers are using and take necessary precautions to protect yourself. 9.1.2 Join online communities and forums. Joining online communities and forums dedicated to scam call awareness can be a valuable resource for staying informed. These communities often have active discussions where members share their experiences, discuss new scam call techniques, and provide tips on how to avoid falling victim to scams. By actively participating in these communities, you can learn from others' experiences, gain insights into the latest scam call trends, and share your own knowledge to help others stay protected. 9.1.3 Follow scam call awareness organizations. There are several reputable organizations that focus on raising awareness about scam calls and providing resources to help individuals protect themselves. Follow these organizations on social media platforms and subscribe to their newsletters to receive regular updates on scam call trends, prevention tips, and news about legal actions taken against scammers. These organizations often collaborate with law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies to combat scam calls, making their updates highly reliable and informative. 9.1.4 Attend scam call awareness events and webinars. Scam call awareness events and webinars are excellent opportunities to learn about the latest scam call trends directly from experts in the field. These events often feature presentations, panel discussions, and Q&A sessions where you can gain valuable insights into the evolving tactics used by scammers. Look for local workshops, seminars, or webinars organized by law enforcement agencies, consumer protection organizations, or cybersecurity companies. Attending these events will not only help you stay informed but also provide you with an opportunity to network with like-minded individuals and share your experiences. 9.1.5 Utilize government resources. Government agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) in the United States, often provide resources and information about scam call trends. Visit their websites regularly to access the latest scam call reports, consumer alerts, and educational materials. These resources are often updated with the most recent information on emerging scam call techniques and trends. By utilizing these government resources, you can stay informed and arm yourself with the knowledge needed to protect yourself and your loved ones from scam callers. 9.1.6 Stay updated on technology advancements. As scammers adapt to new technologies, it is important to stay updated on the advancements in scam call prevention technology. Follow reputable technology news sources and blogs that cover topics related to scam call control. Stay informed about the latest developments in call blocking apps, caller ID authentication, artificial intelligence-based scam call detection, and other technological solutions. By understanding the technological advancements, you can make informed decisions about which tools and services to utilize for protecting yourself from scam callers. 9.1.7 Share information with friends and family. Lastly, staying informed about scam call trends is not only about protecting yourself but also about helping others. Share the information you gather with your friends, family, and colleagues. Educate them about the latest scam call techniques, warning signs, and prevention strategies. By spreading awareness, you can create a network of informed individuals who can collectively combat scam calls and protect each other from falling victim to scams. Remember, staying informed is an ongoing process. Scammers are constantly devising new ways to deceive people, so it is important to remain vigilant and adapt to the changing landscape of scam call trends. By following the tips mentioned in this section and actively seeking information, you can stay ahead of scammers and protect yourself from falling victim to their fraudulent schemes. 9.2 Attending scam call awareness workshops. One of the most effective ways to protect yourself and others from falling victim to scam calls is by attending scam call awareness workshops. These workshops are designed to educate individuals about the various types of scam calls, the techniques scammers use, and how to recognize and respond to them. By attending these workshops, you can gain valuable knowledge and skills that will help you navigate the ever-evolving landscape of scam calls. 9.2.1 The importance of scam call awareness workshops. Scam call awareness workshops play a crucial role in equipping individuals with the necessary tools to identify and protect themselves from scam callers. These workshops provide a comprehensive understanding of the different types of scam calls, including government impersonation scams, tech support scams, and phishing calls. By learning about the tactics scammers employ, participants can develop a heightened sense of awareness and be better prepared to handle such situations. 9.2.2 What to expect in a scam call awareness workshop. Scam call awareness workshops are typically conducted by experts in the field who have extensive knowledge and experience in dealing with scam calls. These workshops may be organized by government agencies, consumer protection organizations, or community groups. During the workshop, participants can expect to learn about 9.2.2.1 Types of scam calls. Workshops often begin by providing an overview of the different types of scam calls that individuals may encounter. This includes information on robocalls, phishing calls, investment scams, and more. Understanding the various tactics scammers use is essential in recognizing and avoiding potential scams. 9.2.2.2 Common scam call techniques. Participants will learn about the common techniques scammers employ to deceive their victims. This may include tactics such as caller ID spoofing, where scammers manipulate the caller ID to appear as a legitimate entity. By understanding these techniques, individuals can become more adept at identifying and avoiding scam calls. 9.2.2.3 Recognizing red flags. Scam call awareness workshops also focus on teaching participants how to recognize red flags that indicate a call may be a scam. These red flags may include high-pressure tactics, requests for personal information, or promises of unrealistic rewards. By being aware of these warning signs, individuals can protect themselves from falling victim to scams. 9.2.2.4 Responding to scam calls. Workshops also provide guidance on how to respond to scam calls effectively. This may include strategies such as ignoring and blocking scam calls, reporting them to the appropriate authorities, or engaging scammers safely to gather information for reporting purposes. Participants will learn the importance of not divulging personal information and how to protect themselves and their loved ones. 9.2.3 Benefits of attending scam call awareness workshops. Attending scam call awareness workshops offers numerous benefits for individuals and communities alike. Some of the key advantages include 9.2.3.1 Empowerment and confidence. By attending these workshops, individuals gain knowledge and skills that empower them to take control of their interactions with scam callers. They become more confident in their ability to recognize and respond to scam calls, reducing the likelihood of falling victim to fraudulent schemes. 9.2.3.2 Protection for vulnerable populations. Scam call awareness workshops are particularly beneficial for vulnerable populations, such as seniors, immigrants, students, and small business owners. These groups are often targeted by scammers due to their perceived vulnerabilities. By attending workshops tailored to their specific needs, these individuals can learn how to protect themselves and their finances from potential scams. 9.2.3.3 Community engagement and support. Scam call awareness workshops foster a sense of community engagement and support. Participants can share their experiences, ask questions, and learn from one another. This collaborative environment helps create a network of individuals who are knowledgeable about scam calls and can support each other in combating this issue. 9.2.3.4 Spreading awareness. By attending scam call awareness workshops, individuals become advocates for scam call prevention. They can share the knowledge they have gained with their friends, family, and colleagues, helping to create a more informed and vigilant society. Spreading awareness is crucial in protecting others from falling victim to scam calls. 9.2.4 Finding scam call awareness workshops. To find scam call awareness workshops in your area, you can start by checking with local government agencies, consumer protection organizations, or community centers. These organizations often host workshops or can provide information on upcoming events. Additionally, online resources and social media platforms may also provide information on workshops and seminars related to scam call awareness. Attending scam call awareness workshops is an investment in your personal safety and the security of your finances. By equipping yourself with the knowledge and skills to recognize and respond to scam calls, you can protect yourself and others from falling victim to these fraudulent schemes. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and together we can combat scam calls. 9.3 Sharing scam call prevention tips. One of the most effective ways to combat scam calls is by sharing scam call prevention tips with others. By educating yourself and others about the tactics scammers use and how to protect against them, you can help create a more informed and vigilant community. Here are some important tips to share. 9.3.1 Be skeptical and trust your instincts. The first and most important tip is to be skeptical of any unsolicited calls, especially those asking for personal or financial information. Scammers often use high-pressure tactics to create a sense of urgency and manipulate their victims. Trust your instincts and remember that legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. 9.3.2 Register your number on the Do Not Call list. One effective way to reduce the number of scam calls you receive is by registering your phone number on the National Do Not Call list. This list prohibits telemarketers from contacting registered numbers. While it may not completely eliminate scam calls, it can significantly reduce the frequency of unwanted calls. 9.3.3 Use call blocking apps and services. Take advantage of call blocking apps and services that can help identify and block scam calls. These apps use databases of known scam numbers and can automatically block or redirect calls from suspicious numbers. Some apps also provide real-time call analysis to identify potential scam calls based on patterns in caller behavior. 9.3.4 Educate yourself about scam call techniques. Stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and tactics used by scammers. Scammers are constantly evolving their methods, so it's important to stay up to date. Follow reputable sources such as government agencies, consumer protection organizations, and news outlets that regularly report on scam call trends. By understanding how scammers operate, you can better protect yourself and others. 9.3.5 Be cautious with personal information. Avoid sharing personal information, such as your social security number, bank account details, or passwords, over the phone unless you initiated the call and are certain of the caller's identity. Scammers often pose as legitimate organizations to trick you into revealing sensitive information. When in doubt, hang up and call the organization directly using a verified phone number. 9.3.6 Verify caller identity. If you receive a call from someone claiming to represent a company or organization, take the time to verify their identity before providing any information. Ask for their name, department, and a callback number. Then, independently look up the organization's official contact information and call them back to ensure you are speaking with a legitimate representative. 9.3.7 Don't engage with scammers. It's important not to engage with scammers or provide them with any information. Even if you suspect it's a scam call, do not engage in conversation or try to outsmart the scammer. Scammers are skilled manipulators and may use any information you provide against you. Simply hang up and report the call to the appropriate authorities. 9.3.8 Report scam calls. Reporting scam calls is crucial in helping authorities track down scammers and prevent future victims. Make sure to report any scam calls to your local law enforcement agency, as well as to the Federal Trade Commission (FTC) in the United States. Provide as much information as possible, including the caller's phone number, the date and time of the call, and any details about the scam. 9.3.9 Spread awareness. Spread awareness about scam calls by sharing your experiences and knowledge with friends, family, and colleagues. Encourage them to be vigilant and provide them with the necessary information to protect themselves. You can also share scam call prevention tips on social media platforms or community forums to reach a wider audience. 9.3.10 Stay updated on scam call news. Stay updated on the latest news and developments related to scam calls. Subscribe to newsletters or follow reputable websites that provide information on scam call trends and prevention techniques. By staying informed, you can adapt your prevention strategies and help others stay protected. 9.3.11 Encourage others to educate themselves. Encourage others to educate themselves about scam call prevention. Host workshops or information sessions where you can share your knowledge and experiences. By empowering others with the necessary information, you can create a stronger network of individuals who are equipped to recognize and avoid scam calls. Remember, scam call prevention is a collective effort. By sharing scam call prevention tips and educating others, we can work together to minimize the impact of scam calls and protect ourselves and our communities from falling victim to these fraudulent activities. 9.4 Teaching children about scam calls. In today's digital age, it is crucial to educate children about the dangers of scam calls and how to protect themselves from potential scams. Scammers often target vulnerable individuals, including children, who may be unaware of the tactics used to deceive and manipulate them. By teaching children about scam calls, we can empower them to recognize and avoid potential scams, ensuring their safety and well-being. 9.4.1 Importance of teaching children. Children are increasingly exposed to technology and communication devices at a young age. They may have access to smartphones, tablets, or even their own personal devices. With this increased connectivity, children become potential targets for scammers who exploit their innocence and lack of knowledge about scam calls. By teaching children about scam calls, we can equip them with the necessary skills to protect themselves and make informed decisions. 9.4.2 Age-appropriate education. When teaching children about scam calls, it is essential to consider their age and level of understanding. Younger children may require simpler explanations, while older children can grasp more complex concepts. Here are some age-appropriate strategies to educate children about scam calls. 9.4.2.1 Early childhood, ages 3 to 6. At this age, children are just beginning to understand the concept of communication and technology. Focus on teaching them about the importance of not talking to strangers on the phone and not sharing personal information with anyone, even if they claim to be someone they know. Use simple language and reinforce the idea that they should always ask a trusted adult for help if they receive a suspicious call. 9.4.2.2 Elementary School, ages 7 to 12. As children enter elementary school, they become more independent and may have their own devices or access to family devices. Teach them about the different types of scam calls, such as phishing calls or tech support scams. Explain the importance of not giving out personal information over the phone and the potential consequences of falling for a scam. Encourage them to ask questions and seek guidance from trusted adults if they receive a suspicious call. 9.4.2.3 Teenagers, ages 13 to 18. Teenagers are more likely to have their own smartphones and engage in online activities. They may encounter scam calls through various channels, including social media or messaging apps. Teach them about the tactics scammers use, such as caller ID spoofing or government impersonation scams. Emphasize the importance of skepticism and critical thinking when receiving calls or messages from unknown sources. Encourage them to report any suspicious activity to a trusted adult or the appropriate authorities. 9.4.3 Role-playing and scenarios. One effective way to teach children about scam calls is through role-playing and scenarios. Create hypothetical situations where children can practice how to respond to different types of scam calls. For example, simulate a call from someone claiming to be a bank representative asking for personal information. Guide the child through the appropriate steps, such as hanging up and contacting the bank directly to verify the call's legitimacy. This hands-on approach helps children develop the skills to handle real-life situations confidently. 9.4.4 Reinforcing online safety. Scam calls often go hand in hand with online scams and phishing attempts. It is crucial to educate children about online safety and the potential risks associated with sharing personal information online. Teach them about the importance of strong passwords, avoiding suspicious links or downloads, and being cautious when interacting with strangers online. By reinforcing online safety practices, children can better protect themselves from scams across various platforms. 9.4.5 Open communication and trust. Maintaining open communication and trust with children is vital when teaching them about scam calls. Encourage them to share any suspicious calls or messages they receive, even if they are unsure whether it is a scam. Create a safe space where they feel comfortable discussing their concerns and seeking guidance. By fostering open communication, children are more likely to reach out for help when faced with potential scams. 9.4.6 Setting a good example. Children learn by observing the behavior of adults around them. Set a good example by practicing safe phone habits yourself. Show them how to handle scam calls by calmly hanging up and reporting the incident. By demonstrating responsible phone behavior, you instill in them the importance of being cautious and vigilant when it comes to scam calls. 9.4.7 Resources for further education. There are various resources available to further educate children about scam calls. Look for age-appropriate books, videos, or online resources that explain the dangers of scam calls in an engaging and interactive manner. Some organizations and government agencies also offer educational materials specifically designed for children, providing valuable information and tips on how to stay safe from scams. 9.4.8 Regularly reinforcing the message. Teaching children about scam calls should not be a one-time event. Regularly reinforce the message and remind them of the importance of staying vigilant. As technology and scam tactics evolve, it is crucial to keep children informed about the latest trends and techniques used by scammers. By staying proactive and regularly discussing scam calls, you empower children to protect themselves effectively. Teaching children about scam calls is an essential step in safeguarding their well-being and ensuring their online safety. By providing them with the knowledge and skills to recognize and avoid scams, we empower them to make informed decisions and protect themselves from potential harm. 10. International Scam Call Challenges. 10.1 Understanding Global Scam Call Networks. Scam calls have become a global problem, affecting individuals and businesses in every corner of the world. Understanding the global scam call networks is crucial in combating this pervasive issue. Scammers operate across borders, taking advantage of technological advancements and exploiting vulnerabilities in communication systems. In this section, we will delve into the intricacies of global scam call networks, the challenges they present, and the efforts being made to address them. 10.1.1 The global reach of scam call networks. Scam call networks have evolved into sophisticated operations that span multiple countries and continents. These networks are highly organized, with scammers collaborating and sharing resources to maximize their reach and effectiveness. The globalization of scam call networks has been facilitated by advancements in telecommunications technology, making it easier for scammers to target victims worldwide. One of the key factors contributing to the global reach of scam call networks is the use of Voice over Internet Protocol (VoIP) technology. VoIP allows scammers to make calls over the internet, bypassing traditional phone networks and geographical boundaries. This technology enables scammers to make cheaper even free international calls, making it financially viable to target victims in different countries. 10.1.2 Cross-border scam call challenges. Cross-border scam calls present unique challenges for law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies. Jurisdictional issues arise when scammers operate from one country but target victims in another. This makes it difficult to track down and prosecute the perpetrators. Additionally, scammers often employ tactics such as caller ID spoofing, making it even more challenging to trace the origin of the calls. Another challenge is the cultural and language barriers that scammers exploit. They often target individuals who may not be familiar with the local language or legal systems, making it easier to deceive and manipulate them. Scammers may pose as government officials, law enforcement officers, or representatives of well-known organizations, using these disguises to gain the trust of their victims. 10.1.3 Cooperation among international authorities. Addressing the global nature of scam call networks requires international cooperation and collaboration among law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and telecommunications providers. Recognizing the need for a coordinated approach, many countries have established partnerships and information-sharing networks to combat scam calls. Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization, plays a crucial role in facilitating cooperation among law enforcement agencies worldwide. Through its global complex for innovation, Interpol provides a platform for sharing intelligence, coordinating investigations, and conducting joint operations to dismantle scam call networks. Telecommunications providers also play a vital role in combating scam calls. They are working closely with authorities to implement measures such as call blocking and caller ID authentication to identify and block fraudulent calls. By sharing information about known scam call numbers and patterns, they can help protect their customers from falling victim to scams. 10.1.4 International Legal Framework for Scam Call Control. Developing a robust international legal framework is essential for effectively combating scam call networks. Many countries have enacted legislation to address scam calls and punish those involved in fraudulent activities. However, harmonizing laws and regulations across borders remains a challenge. International organizations such as the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, are working towards establishing common legal standards and frameworks to combat scam calls. These organizations provide guidance and support to member states in developing legislation and implementing measures to prevent and prosecute scam call activities. Bilateral and multilateral agreements between countries are also crucial in addressing cross-border scam calls. These agreements facilitate cooperation in investigations, extradition of offenders, and the sharing of intelligence and evidence. By working together, countries can strengthen their collective efforts to dismantle scam call networks and protect their citizens. In conclusion, understanding global scam call networks is vital in effectively combating this widespread problem. The global reach of scam call networks, cross-border challenges, cooperation among international authorities, and the development of an international legal framework are all key aspects in the fight against scam calls. By working together, individuals, businesses, and governments can take significant steps towards minimizing the impact of scam calls and creating a safer communication environment for everyone. 10.2 Dealing with cross-border scam calls. Scam calls have become a global problem, with scammers operating across borders to target unsuspecting individuals. Dealing with cross-border scam calls can be challenging due to jurisdictional issues and the complexity of international legal frameworks. In this section, we will explore strategies and best practices for managing and protecting yourself from cross-border scam calls. 10.2.1 Understanding the nature of cross-border scam calls. Cross-border scam calls refer to fraudulent phone calls originating from one country but targeting individuals in another. Scammers often exploit the differences in legal systems and regulatory frameworks between countries to carry out their illicit activities. They may use various tactics, such as caller ID spoofing and voice-over Internet Protocol (VoIP) technology, to mask their true location and make it difficult to trace their calls. These scam calls can take different forms, including tech support scams, phishing attempts, and investment fraud. The scammers may impersonate government officials, financial institutions, or well-known companies to gain the trust of their victims. It is crucial to understand the nature of these scams to effectively protect yourself and take appropriate action. 10.2.2 Recognizing cross-border scam call patterns. While scam call techniques may vary, there are some common patterns that can help you identify cross-border scam calls. Here are a few indicators to watch out for. Unsolicited calls from unknown numbers. Scammers often initiate contact without any prior interaction or relationship with the victim. Be cautious if you receive calls from unfamiliar international numbers. Pressure tactics and urgency. Scammers may create a sense of urgency to manipulate victims into making quick decisions. They may claim that immediate action is required to avoid legal consequences or financial losses. Requests for personal information or financial details. Legitimate organizations rarely ask for sensitive information over the phone. Be skeptical if a caller requests your social security number, bank account details, or passwords. Unrealistic offers or prizes. Scammers often entice victims with promises of large sums of money, lottery winnings, or exclusive prizes. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Threats and intimidation. Some scammers resort to intimidation tactics, such as threatening arrest, deportation, or legal action. Legitimate authorities do not typically make such calls without prior official correspondence. 10.2.3 Taking precautions to protect yourself. While it may be challenging to completely eliminate cross-border scam calls, there are several precautions you can take to protect yourself. Be cautious with personal information. Avoid sharing sensitive personal information, such as your social security number, bank account details, or passwords, over the phone. Legitimate organizations will not ask for this information unsolicited. Verify caller identity. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a company or organization, independently verify their identity before providing any information. Look up their official contact details and call them back using a trusted number. Use call blocking and filtering services. Explore call blocking apps and services that can help identify and block known scam numbers. These services often rely on community reports and databases to flag potential scam calls. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest scam call techniques and trends. Regularly check official websites and resources dedicated to scam call prevention to learn about new scams and how to protect yourself. Report scam calls. If you receive a cross-border scam call, report it to the appropriate authorities in your country. They may be able to gather intelligence and take action against scammers operating across borders. 10.2.4 Seeking assistance from international authorities. Dealing with cross-border scam calls often requires cooperation among international authorities. While it can be challenging to track down scammers operating in different jurisdictions, there are initiatives in place to facilitate collaboration and information sharing. International law enforcement cooperation. Law enforcement agencies from different countries work together through mutual legal assistance treaties and international organizations to investigate and prosecute scammers. They share intelligence, coordinate efforts, and exchange best practices to combat cross-border scams. Regulatory agencies and consumer protection organizations. Regulatory agencies and consumer protection organizations play a crucial role in monitoring and addressing scam call activities. They work with their counterparts in other countries to share information and coordinate enforcement actions. International task forces and working groups. Various international task forces and working groups focus on combating cross-border scams. These groups bring together experts from different countries to develop strategies, share intelligence, and enhance cooperation in tackling scam call networks. 10.2.5 Legal recourse for cross-border scam calls. Seeking legal recourse for cross-border scam calls can be complex due to jurisdictional challenges. However, there are legal frameworks and mechanisms in place to address these issues. International legal cooperation. Countries have established mutual legal assistance treaties and agreements to facilitate cooperation in criminal investigations and prosecutions. These agreements enable authorities to share evidence, gather intelligence, and extradite suspects involved in cross-border scam calls. Extraterritorial jurisdiction. Some countries have laws that allow them to exercise jurisdiction over certain offenses committed abroad if they have a significant connection to their territory. This can provide a legal basis for prosecuting scammers involved in cross-border scam calls. International legal initiatives. International organizations, such as the International Telecommunication Union (ITU) and the International Consumer Protection and Enforcement Network (ICPEN), work towards developing international legal frameworks and guidelines to combat cross-border scams. These initiatives aim to harmonize laws and enhance cooperation among countries. In conclusion, dealing with cross-border scam calls requires vigilance, awareness, and cooperation among individuals, authorities, and international organizations. By understanding the nature of these scams, recognizing patterns, and taking necessary precautions, you can protect yourself from falling victim to cross-border scam calls. Additionally, reporting such calls to the appropriate authorities can contribute to the collective effort in combating these fraudulent activities. 10.3 Cooperation among international authorities. In the fight against scam calls, cooperation among international authorities plays a crucial role. Scammers often operate across borders, taking advantage of jurisdictional limitations and exploiting the complexities of international law. To effectively combat this global issue, it is essential for authorities from different countries to work together, share information, and coordinate their efforts. 10.3.1 Sharing intelligence and information. One of the key aspects of international cooperation is the sharing of intelligence and information between authorities. Scam call networks are often complex and interconnected, spanning multiple countries. By exchanging data and insights, authorities can gain a better understanding of these networks, identify key players, and disrupt their operations. International cooperation allows authorities to pool their resources and expertise, enabling them to tackle scams that target individuals and businesses across borders. By sharing information about known scam techniques, caller identities, and patterns of fraudulent activity, authorities can build a comprehensive picture of the global scam landscape. This collective knowledge can help in identifying emerging trends, adapting prevention strategies, and taking swift action against scammers. 10.3.2 Joint investigations and operations. Cooperation among international authorities also involves conducting joint investigations and operations. Scam call networks often involve individuals and organizations from different countries working together to carry out their fraudulent activities. By collaborating on investigations, authorities can gather evidence, track down perpetrators, and dismantle these networks more effectively. Joint operations can take various forms, such as coordinated raids, undercover operations, and information-sharing platforms. These efforts allow authorities to target the entire scam call ecosystem, from the call centers where the scams are operated to the money laundering networks that facilitate the flow of illicit funds. By working together, authorities can disrupt the entire chain of scam call operations, making it harder for scammers to continue their fraudulent activities. 10.3.3 Mutual Legal Assistance. Mutual legal assistance is another crucial aspect of international cooperation in scam call control. It involves the exchange of legal information and evidence between countries to support criminal investigations and prosecutions. Scam call cases often require cooperation in gathering evidence, freezing assets, and extraditing suspects. Through mutual legal assistance, authorities can request assistance from their counterparts in other countries, such as obtaining bank records, conducting interviews, and sharing witness statements. This process helps bridge the gaps in jurisdictional boundaries and ensures that scammers cannot evade justice by operating from countries with weak legal frameworks. 10.3.4 International Conventions and Treaties. International conventions and treaties play a significant role in facilitating cooperation among international authorities in scam call control. These agreements provide a legal framework for countries to work together, establish common standards, and streamline processes for information sharing and mutual legal assistance. For example, the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime and its protocols, such as the Protocol to Prevent, Suppress and Punish Trafficking in Persons, especially women and children, provide a framework for international cooperation in combating organized crime, including scam call networks. Similarly, regional agreements, such as the European Convention on Cybercrime, promote cooperation among European countries in addressing cybercrime, including scam calls. 10.3.5 International Task Forces and Working Groups. To enhance cooperation and coordination, international task forces and working groups are established to address the challenges posed by scam calls. These collaborative initiatives bring together experts from different countries and organizations to share best practices, develop strategies, and coordinate efforts in combating scam call networks. Task forces and working groups provide a platform for authorities to exchange information, discuss emerging trends, and develop joint action plans. They also facilitate capacity building and training programs to enhance the skills and knowledge of law enforcement agencies in dealing with scam calls. By working together, these international bodies can leverage their collective expertise and resources to stay one step ahead of scammers. 10.3.6 Challenges and Future Directions. While international cooperation is crucial in the fight against scam calls, it is not without its challenges. Differences in legal systems, language barriers, and varying levels of technological capabilities can hinder effective collaboration. Additionally, scammers are constantly evolving their tactics, making it necessary for authorities to adapt and innovate their approaches. To address these challenges, ongoing efforts are being made to strengthen international cooperation in scam call control. This includes the development of standardized protocols for information sharing, the establishment of dedicated international platforms for reporting and coordination, and the promotion of capacity-building initiatives to enhance the skills of law enforcement agencies worldwide. In conclusion, cooperation among international authorities is vital in combating scam calls. By sharing intelligence, conducting joint investigations, and providing mutual legal assistance, authorities can disrupt scam call networks and bring scammers to justice. International conventions, task forces, and working groups further facilitate collaboration and coordination. While challenges exist, ongoing efforts are being made to enhance international cooperation and stay ahead of scammers in the fight against scam calls. 10.4 International Legal Framework for Scam Call Control. As scam calls continue to plague individuals and businesses worldwide, it has become increasingly important to establish an international legal framework to combat this global issue. Scammers often operate across borders, making it challenging for individual countries to tackle the problem effectively. In this section, we will explore the efforts made by international authorities to address scam call control and the legal mechanisms in place to combat this growing menace. 10.4.1 International Cooperation and Collaboration. Scam calls are not limited by geographical boundaries, and scammers often exploit this fact to their advantage. To effectively combat this problem, international cooperation and collaboration among law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and telecommunications providers are crucial. Various organizations, such as Interpol, the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI), and the International Telecommunication Union (ITU), work together to share information, intelligence, and best practices to combat scam calls on a global scale. Through these collaborative efforts, countries can exchange data on scam call trends, identify common patterns, and develop strategies to disrupt scam call networks. This international cooperation enables authorities to track down and apprehend scammers who operate across borders, making it more challenging for them to evade justice. 10.4.2 International Treaties and Agreements. To strengthen the legal framework for scam call control, countries have entered into international treaties and agreements that facilitate cooperation and information sharing. One such example is the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime, also known as the Council of Europe Convention on Cybercrime. This treaty aims to harmonize national laws, improve investigative techniques, and enhance international cooperation in combating cybercrime, including scam calls. The Budapest Convention provides a legal framework for countries to cooperate in investigating and prosecuting cybercriminals, including those involved in scam call operations. It encourages the exchange of information, the preservation of electronic evidence, and the extradition of offenders. By ratifying and implementing this convention, countries can align their legal systems and enhance their ability to combat scam calls effectively. 10.4.3 National legislation and regulatory measures. While international cooperation is crucial, individual countries must also enact robust legislation and regulatory measures to address scam call control within their jurisdictions. Governments worldwide have recognized the need to protect their citizens from scam calls and have introduced laws and regulations to combat this issue. These legislative measures typically include provisions that criminalize scam call activities, impose penalties on offenders, and empower regulatory bodies to enforce compliance. For example, many countries have laws that prohibit caller ID spoofing, which is a common technique used by scammers to deceive victims. By making such practices illegal, authorities can take legal action against scammers and deter them from engaging in fraudulent activities. Additionally, regulatory bodies often work closely with telecommunications providers to implement measures that enhance scam call control. These measures may include the implementation of call authentication protocols, the development of call blocking technologies, and the establishment of reporting mechanisms for scam calls. By collaborating with industry stakeholders, governments can leverage technological advancements to protect their citizens from scam calls effectively. 10.4.4 Extradition and mutual legal assistance. Scammers often operate from jurisdictions that may have different legal systems or limited resources to combat scam calls effectively. In such cases, extradition and mutual legal assistance agreements play a vital role in ensuring that offenders can be brought to justice. Extradition treaties allow countries to request the transfer of individuals suspected of committing scam call offenses from one jurisdiction to another. These treaties establish the legal framework for extradition proceedings, ensuring that offenders cannot escape justice by fleeing to another country. Mutual legal assistance agreements enable countries to cooperate in gathering evidence, conducting investigations, and sharing information related to scam call cases. These agreements facilitate the exchange of information and evidence between countries, allowing authorities to build strong cases against scammers and prosecute them effectively. By leveraging extradition and mutual legal assistance mechanisms, countries can overcome jurisdictional barriers and ensure that scammers are held accountable for their actions, regardless of where they operate. Conclusion. The international legal framework for scam call control is essential in combating the global issue of scam calls. Through international cooperation, treaties and agreements, national legislation, and extradition and mutual legal assistance mechanisms, countries can work together to disrupt scam call networks, prosecute offenders, and protect individuals and businesses from falling victim to these fraudulent activities. By establishing a robust legal framework, we can strive towards a scam-free future and create a safer environment for everyone. 11. Psychology of scam calls. 11.1 Manipulative techniques used by scammers. Scammers are skilled manipulators who employ various psychological techniques to deceive and exploit their victims. By understanding these manipulative techniques, you can better protect yourself from falling victim to scam calls. In this section, we will explore some common tactics used by scammers and how they manipulate their targets. 11.1.1 Building trust and rapport. One of the primary techniques scammers use is building trust and rapport with their victims. They often adopt friendly and persuasive tones, pretending to be someone trustworthy, such as a bank representative, government official, or technical support agent. By establishing a sense of familiarity and authority, scammers aim to gain the victim's confidence and make them more susceptible to their schemes. Scammers may also use personal information obtained through data breaches or social engineering to create a false sense of legitimacy. They might mention specific details about the victim's life, such as their name, address, or recent purchases, to appear more credible. This tactic can make the victim believe that the caller is genuine and increase the likelihood of compliance. 11.1.2 Creating a sense of urgency. Scammers often employ urgency as a powerful tool to manipulate their victims. They create a sense of impending danger or loss, pressuring individuals to act quickly without taking the time to think critically. By instilling fear or anxiety, scammers aim to override rational decision-making and push their targets into making impulsive choices. For example, a scammer might claim that the victim's bank account has been compromised and that immediate action is required to prevent further unauthorized transactions. They may threaten legal consequences or claim that the victim's personal information will be exposed if they do not comply. By exploiting the victim's fear and urgency, scammers hope to bypass their logical thinking and coerce them into providing sensitive information or making financial transactions. 11.1.3 Exploiting emotional triggers. Scammers are adept at exploiting emotional triggers to manipulate their victims. They often prey on common human vulnerabilities, such as greed, fear, compassion, or curiosity, to elicit specific responses. By tapping into these emotions, scammers can control their target's behavior and increase the chances of success. For instance, scammers might promise large financial rewards or exclusive opportunities to appeal to the victim's greed. They may claim that the victim has won a lottery or sweepstakes and needs to pay a small fee to claim the prize. By playing on the desire for wealth or material gain, scammers entice individuals to provide personal information or make monetary transactions. On the other hand, scammers may also exploit fear and compassion. They might impersonate law enforcement officers or government officials, claiming that the victim is involved in illegal activities or owes outstanding debts. By instilling fear of legal consequences or appealing to the victim's sense of responsibility, scammers manipulate individuals into complying with their demands. 11.1.4 Manipulating cognitive biases. Scammers are well versed in cognitive biases, which are inherent flaws in human thinking that can be exploited for manipulation. They use these biases to influence decision-making and override critical thinking processes. By understanding these biases, scammers can effectively manipulate their victims' perceptions and actions. Confirmation bias is one such cognitive bias that scammers often exploit. This bias refers to the tendency to seek out information that confirms pre-existing beliefs or expectations while ignoring contradictory evidence. Scammers may use this bias by providing false evidence or testimonials that support their claims, reinforcing the victim's belief in the legitimacy of the scam. Another cognitive bias scammers exploit is the scarcity effect. This bias refers to the tendency to place a higher value on things that are perceived as rare or limited in availability. Scammers may create a false sense of scarcity by claiming that the offer or opportunity is only available for a limited time or to a select few individuals. By triggering the scarcity effect, scammers increase the perceived value of their fraudulent schemes and encourage immediate action. Conclusion. Scammers employ a range of manipulative techniques to exploit their victims' vulnerabilities and deceive them into falling for their scams. By understanding these tactics, you can better protect yourself from becoming a victim of scam calls. Remember to be cautious, skeptical, and vigilant when receiving unsolicited calls, and never provide personal or financial information to unknown callers. 11.2 Understanding the vulnerabilities of victims. Scammers are skilled manipulators who prey on the vulnerabilities of their victims. To effectively combat scam calls, it is crucial to understand the psychological factors that make individuals susceptible to these fraudulent schemes. By recognizing these vulnerabilities, we can empower ourselves and others to resist the tactics employed by scammers. 11.2.1 Emotional vulnerability. Emotional vulnerability plays a significant role in scam call victimization. Scammers often exploit emotions such as fear, greed, and urgency to manipulate their targets. They create a sense of urgency by claiming that immediate action is required to avoid dire consequences or promising unrealistic rewards. In times of distress or financial hardship, individuals may be more susceptible to falling for these emotional ploys. 11.2.2 Trust and authority. Scammers frequently exploit the natural inclination of individuals to trust and respect authority figures. They may pose as government officials, law enforcement officers, or representatives from reputable organizations to gain credibility. By leveraging this trust, scammers manipulate victims into providing personal information or making financial transactions. It is essential to remember that legitimate organizations will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. 11.2.3 Lack of knowledge and awareness. Many scam victims fall prey to fraudulent schemes due to a lack of knowledge and awareness about scam call techniques. Scammers constantly adapt their tactics, making it challenging for individuals to stay informed about the latest scams. Additionally, some victims may not be aware of the prevalence and sophistication of scam calls, making them more susceptible to manipulation. Educating oneself and others about scam call prevention is crucial in combating these fraudulent activities. 11.2.4 Isolation and loneliness. Scammers often target individuals who are isolated or lonely. They exploit the emotional vulnerability of these individuals by offering companionship, support, or a sympathetic ear. Loneliness can cloud judgment and make individuals more susceptible to falling for scams that promise friendship or emotional connection. It is important for individuals to seek support from trusted friends, family, or community organizations to reduce the risk of falling victim to these scams. 11.2.5 Cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are inherent tendencies in human thinking that can be exploited by scammers. Confirmation bias, for example, leads individuals to seek information that confirms their existing beliefs, making them more susceptible to scams that align with their preconceived notions. Scammers also exploit the availability heuristic, where individuals rely on immediate examples that come to mind when making decisions. By presenting false evidence or testimonials, scammers manipulate victims into believing their claims. 11.2.6 Financial desperation. Financial desperation can make individuals more vulnerable to scam calls. Scammers often target individuals who are struggling financially, promising quick and easy solutions to their problems. The hope of financial relief can cloud judgment and lead individuals to make impulsive decisions without thoroughly evaluating the legitimacy of the offer. It is crucial for individuals facing financial difficulties to seek advice from reputable financial advisors or organizations before engaging with any suspicious calls. 11.2.7 Politeness and social conditioning. Politeness and social conditioning can make individuals more susceptible to scam calls. Scammers exploit societal norms that encourage individuals to be polite and accommodating. They may use aggressive or manipulative tactics to pressure victims into complying with their demands. It is important to remember that it is acceptable to hang up on suspicious calls and prioritize personal safety over politeness. 11.2.8 Age and vulnerability. Certain age groups, such as seniors or young adults, may be more vulnerable to scam calls due to specific factors. Seniors may be targeted due to their trusting nature, lack of familiarity with technology, or cognitive decline. Young adults, on the other hand, may be targeted due to their limited experience with financial matters or their desire for quick financial gains. Understanding the vulnerabilities associated with different age groups can help tailor prevention strategies and support systems accordingly. 11.2.9 Psychological impact. Scam calls can have a profound psychological impact on victims. Even after realizing they have been scammed, individuals may experience feelings of shame, embarrassment, anger, or betrayal. These emotions can lead to a loss of trust in others and a reluctance to seek help or report the incident. It is crucial for victims to understand that they are not alone and that seeking support from friends, family, or support organizations can aid in the recovery process. 11.2.10 Building resilience. By understanding the vulnerabilities that scammers exploit, individuals can build resilience and protect themselves from falling victim to scam calls. It is important to stay informed about the latest scam call techniques, maintain a healthy skepticism, and seek advice from trusted sources before making any financial decisions. Building a support network and staying connected with others can also help reduce vulnerability to scam calls. Remember, scammers are skilled manipulators who prey on vulnerabilities. By understanding these vulnerabilities and taking proactive measures to protect ourselves and others, we can effectively combat scam calls and create a safer environment for everyone. 11.3 Psychological impact of scam calls. Scam calls can have a significant psychological impact on their victims. These fraudulent activities are designed to exploit people's vulnerabilities and manipulate their emotions, leaving lasting effects on their mental well-being. Understanding the psychological impact of scam calls is crucial in order to provide support and guidance to those who have fallen victim to these scams. 11.3.1 Emotional distress. One of the most common psychological impacts of scam calls is emotional distress. Victims often experience a range of negative emotions such as fear, anger, shame, and embarrassment. These emotions can be overwhelming and may persist long after the scam call has ended. The fear of being scammed again or the shame of falling for a scam can lead to increased anxiety and stress levels. 11.3.2 Loss of trust. Scam calls can erode a person's trust in others, especially in phone communication. Victims may become suspicious of any incoming calls, even from legitimate sources. This loss of trust can extend beyond phone calls and affect their overall trust in people, institutions, and even technology. The feeling of betrayal and violation can be difficult to overcome, leading to a sense of isolation and vulnerability. 11.3.3 Financial impact. The financial consequences of falling victim to a scam call can be devastating. Victims may lose a significant amount of money, which can lead to financial stress, debt, and even bankruptcy. The financial impact can also result in feelings of guilt and self-blame for not being able to recognize the scam in time. This can further exacerbate the psychological distress experienced by the victims. 11.3.4 Self-doubt and self-blame. Victims of scam calls often blame themselves for being deceived. They may question their own judgment and intelligence, leading to a loss of self-confidence. The scammers' manipulative tactics can make victims feel foolish and gullible, which can have a long-lasting impact on their self-esteem. Over time, this self-doubt can affect various aspects of their lives, including personal relationships and professional endeavors. 11.3.5 Post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). In some cases, the psychological impact of scam calls can be so severe that it leads to the development of post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). PTSD is a mental health condition that can occur after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. The constant fear, anxiety, and intrusive thoughts associated with scam calls can trigger symptoms of PTSD, such as flashbacks, nightmares, and hypervigilance. It is important for individuals experiencing these symptoms to seek professional help and support. 11.3.6 Social isolation. The psychological impact of scam calls can also result in social isolation. Victims may feel embarrassed or ashamed of being scammed, leading them to withdraw from social interactions. They may fear judgment or ridicule from others, which can further isolate them from their support networks. Social isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness, depression, and anxiety, making it even more challenging for victims to recover from the psychological impact of scam calls. 11.3.7 Restoring psychological well-being. Recovering from the psychological impact of scam calls requires time, support, and self-care. It is important for victims to seek professional help if they are experiencing significant distress or symptoms of mental health conditions such as anxiety or PTSD. Therapists and counselors can provide guidance and support in processing the emotions associated with the scam call experience. Additionally, connecting with support groups or online communities of other scam call victims can help individuals realize that they are not alone in their experiences. Sharing stories and coping strategies can provide a sense of validation and empowerment. Engaging in self-care activities such as exercise, meditation, and hobbies can also contribute to restoring psychological well-being. Taking steps to rebuild trust, such as verifying the legitimacy of incoming calls or seeking advice from trusted sources, can help victims regain a sense of control and security. It is important to remember that the psychological impact of scam calls is not the fault of the victim. Scammers are skilled manipulators who prey on vulnerabilities and exploit human emotions. By understanding the psychological impact and providing support, we can help victims recover and prevent future victimization. 11.4 Recovering from scam call trauma. Scam calls can be a traumatic experience for many individuals. The psychological impact of falling victim to a scam can leave lasting effects, including feelings of fear, anger, shame, and vulnerability. Recovering from scam call trauma requires a combination of self-care, support from loved ones, and professional assistance. In this section, we will explore strategies to help individuals recover from the emotional aftermath of scam calls. 11.4.1 Acknowledge and validate your feelings. The first step in recovering from scam call trauma is to acknowledge and validate your feelings. It is normal to feel a range of emotions after being targeted by scammers. Allow yourself to experience these emotions without judgment. Understand that you are not alone in this experience and that many others have also fallen victim to scams. Seek support from friends, family, or support groups who can provide a safe space for you to express your feelings. 11.4.2 Practice self-care. Engaging in self-care activities is crucial for healing from scam call trauma. Take time to prioritize your physical and emotional well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy and help you relax, such as exercise, meditation, reading, or spending time in nature. Ensure you are getting enough sleep, eating nutritious meals, and staying hydrated. Avoid turning to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as excessive alcohol or drug use, as they can further exacerbate the emotional distress. 11.4.3 Seek professional help. If you find that the emotional impact of scam calls is significantly affecting your daily life, it may be beneficial to seek professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide a safe and non-judgmental space for you to process your emotions and develop coping strategies. They can also help you address any underlying issues that may have made you more vulnerable to scams. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and trauma-focused therapy are effective approaches for dealing with the aftermath of scam call trauma. 11.4.4 Connect with support networks. Connecting with others who have experienced similar scam call trauma can be incredibly helpful in the recovery process. Look for support groups or online communities where you can share your experiences, learn from others, and receive support. Hearing stories of resilience and recovery from individuals who have overcome similar challenges can provide hope and inspiration. Remember, you are not alone, and there are people who understand what you are going through. 11.4.5 Rebuild trust. Scam calls can shatter your trust in others, including legitimate businesses and institutions. Rebuilding trust is a gradual process that requires patience and caution. Start by educating yourself about scam call prevention techniques and learning how to identify legitimate communication channels. Take small steps to engage with trusted individuals and organizations, gradually rebuilding your confidence. Remember that not everyone is out to scam you, and there are still trustworthy people and organizations in the world. 11.4.6 Practice mindfulness and resilience. Mindfulness and resilience are essential skills for recovering from scam call trauma. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. It can help you develop a greater sense of self-awareness and reduce anxiety and stress. Resilience, on the other hand, is the ability to bounce back from adversity. Cultivate resilience by focusing on your strengths, setting realistic goals, and developing a positive mindset. Both mindfulness and resilience can help you navigate the emotional challenges of scam call recovery. 11.4.7 Educate others. One way to find empowerment and healing after scam call trauma is by educating others about the dangers of scams. Share your experience with friends, family, and colleagues, and raise awareness about common scam call techniques. By educating others, you not only help protect them from falling victim to scams but also contribute to the prevention of future scams. Turning your negative experience into a positive force for change can be a powerful part of the recovery process. 11.4.8 Stay informed and vigilant. Even after recovering from scam call trauma, it is important to stay informed and vigilant about the latest scam call trends. Scammers are constantly evolving their techniques, and staying informed can help you protect yourself and others. Keep up with news and updates on scam call prevention, and continue to educate yourself about new scams and how to recognize them. By staying vigilant, you can maintain a sense of control and reduce the likelihood of falling victim to scams in the future. Recovering from scam call trauma is a process that takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself to heal at your own pace. Remember that you are not defined by the scam call experience, and with the right support and strategies, you can move forward and regain a sense of security and trust in your life. 12. The future of scam call control. 12.1 Emerging technologies in scam call prevention. As the battle against scam calls continues, technology is playing a crucial role in developing innovative solutions to prevent and combat these fraudulent activities. Emerging technologies are being harnessed to detect and block scam calls, providing individuals with greater control over their phone lines and protecting them from falling victim to scams. In this section, we will explore some of the cutting-edge technologies that are being used in scam call prevention. 12.1.1 Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. Artificial intelligence (AI) and machine learning (ML) are revolutionizing the way scam calls are detected and prevented. These technologies enable call blocking apps and services to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns associated with scam calls. By continuously learning from new scam call techniques, AI and ML algorithms can adapt and improve their detection capabilities over time. AI-powered call blocking apps use sophisticated algorithms to analyze call metadata, such as the caller's number, location, and call duration, to determine the likelihood of a call being a scam. ML models can also analyze the audio content of calls, identifying specific keywords or phrases commonly used by scammers. This advanced analysis helps in real-time call screening, allowing users to avoid answering potential scam calls. 12.1.2 Caller ID Authentication. Caller ID authentication is another emerging technology that aims to combat scam calls by verifying the authenticity of the caller's identity. Traditional caller ID systems can be easily manipulated by scammers using techniques like caller ID spoofing. However, with caller ID authentication, phone networks can validate the legitimacy of the caller's identity before the call reaches the recipient. One such technology is the Secure Telephone Identity Revisited (STIR) and signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens (SHAKEN) framework. This framework uses digital certificates to verify the calling party's identity and ensure that the caller ID information is accurate. By implementing this technology, phone networks can significantly reduce the number of scam calls reaching consumers. 12.1.3 Robocall Detection and Blocking. Robocalls, automated calls made by computerized systems, are a common tactic used by scammers. To combat this, emerging technologies are being developed to detect and block robocalls effectively. Advanced algorithms can analyze call patterns, audio content, and other metadata to identify and differentiate between legitimate calls and robocalls. One approach is the use of audio fingerprinting, where unique audio signatures of known robocalls are stored in a database. When a call is received, the system compares the audio fingerprint of the call with the database to determine if it is a robocall. Additionally, real-time analysis of call audio can detect robotic voices or pre-recorded messages, further enhancing the accuracy of robocall detection. 12.1.4 Voice Biometrics. Voice biometrics is an emerging technology that uses unique vocal characteristics to verify the identity of callers. By analyzing various voice attributes, such as pitch, tone, and speech patterns, voice biometrics can determine if the caller's voice matches their claimed identity. This technology can be used to authenticate legitimate callers and detect spoofed or manipulated voices used by scammers. Voice biometrics can also be integrated with call blocking apps and services, allowing users to create a whitelist of trusted contacts. Calls from unknown or suspicious numbers can be automatically screened using voice biometrics, providing an additional layer of protection against scam calls. 12.1.5 Advanced Call Analytics. Advanced call analytics technologies are being developed to provide users with detailed insights into their call activity and help identify potential scam calls. These analytics platforms can analyze call metadata, such as call frequency, duration, and time of day, to identify suspicious patterns associated with scam calls. By visualizing call data in user-friendly dashboards, individuals can easily identify recurring scam call numbers or patterns. This information can then be used to block specific numbers or report them to authorities. Advanced call analytics also enable users to track the effectiveness of their scam call prevention measures and make informed decisions about their call management strategies. 12.1.6 Blockchain Technology. Blockchain technology, known for its secure and transparent nature, is being explored as a potential solution for scam call prevention. By leveraging blockchain, phone networks can create a decentralized and tamper-proof database of verified phone numbers. This database can be used to authenticate the identity of callers and ensure that the caller ID information is accurate. Blockchain-based systems can also enable users to control the visibility of their phone numbers, allowing them to keep their numbers private and only share them with trusted contacts. This reduces the risk of scammers obtaining personal information through illegitimate means. Conclusion. Emerging technologies are paving the way for more effective scam call prevention. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, caller ID authentication, robocall detection, voice biometrics, advanced call analytics, and blockchain technology are just a few examples of the innovative solutions being developed to combat scam calls. By leveraging these technologies, individuals can regain control over their phone lines and protect themselves from falling victim to scams. As technology continues to evolve, the future of scam call control looks promising, offering hope for a scam-free future. 12.2 Collaborative efforts to combat scam calls. In the fight against scam calls, it is crucial to recognize that no single entity can tackle this issue alone. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics, making it necessary for collaborative efforts between various stakeholders to combat this growing problem. Governments, law enforcement agencies, telecommunications companies, and individuals must work together to create a united front against scam callers. This section will explore the importance of collaborative efforts and highlight some successful initiatives that have been implemented. 12.2.1 Government and Regulatory Agencies. Government and regulatory agencies play a vital role in combating scam calls. They have the power to enact laws and regulations that protect consumers and hold scammers accountable for their actions. These agencies work closely with law enforcement to investigate and prosecute scammers. Additionally, they collaborate with telecommunications companies to develop strategies and technologies to prevent scam calls. One example of a collaborative effort is the establishment of the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the United States. The FTC works with other government agencies, such as the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, to enforce laws and regulations related to scam calls. They also provide resources and education to help consumers identify and report scam calls. 12.2.2 Law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement agencies play a crucial role in investigating and prosecuting scam callers. They work closely with government agencies and telecommunications companies to gather evidence and build cases against scammers. By sharing information and collaborating with other agencies, law enforcement can track down and apprehend those responsible for scam calls. International collaboration among law enforcement agencies is also essential in combating cross-border scam calls. Scammers often operate from different countries, making it challenging to bring them to justice. Through international cooperation, law enforcement agencies can share intelligence, coordinate efforts, and extradite scammers to face legal consequences. 12.2.3 Telecommunications companies. Telecommunications companies are on the front lines of the battle against scam calls. They have a responsibility to protect their customers from fraudulent activities and invest in technologies that can detect and block scam calls. Collaborating with government agencies and law enforcement, telecommunications companies can share data and insights to develop effective solutions. One collaborative effort is the implementation of call authentication technologies, such as STIR, Secure Telephone Identity Revisited, signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens. This framework verifies the authenticity of caller ID information, making it harder for scammers to spoof phone numbers. By working together, telecommunications companies can implement these technologies across their networks, providing a more secure environment for their customers. 12.2.4 Consumer education and awareness. Collaborative efforts to combat scam calls also involve educating and raising awareness among consumers. By providing information about the latest scam techniques and prevention strategies, individuals can protect themselves and others from falling victim to scams. Government agencies, law enforcement, and telecommunications companies often collaborate to create educational campaigns and resources that empower consumers to recognize and report scam calls. One successful initiative is the establishment of scam call awareness workshops. These workshops bring together experts from various fields to educate the public about the dangers of scam calls and provide practical tips on how to avoid them. By collaborating with community organizations, schools, and businesses, these workshops reach a wide audience and empower individuals to take action against scam calls. 12.2.5 International cooperation. Scam calls are not limited by borders, and scammers often operate across multiple countries. Therefore, international cooperation is crucial in combating this global issue. Governments, regulatory agencies, and law enforcement from different countries must work together to share information, coordinate investigations, and develop strategies to dismantle international scam call networks. Efforts such as the International Consumer Protection and Enforcement Network (ICPEN) promote collaboration among consumer protection agencies worldwide. Through ICPEN, countries can share best practices, exchange information on emerging scam call trends, and coordinate enforcement actions against scammers operating internationally. 12.2.6 Public-private partnerships. Public-private partnerships are another effective way to combat scam calls. By bringing together government agencies, law enforcement, telecommunications companies, and other stakeholders, these partnerships leverage the strengths and resources of each entity to develop comprehensive solutions. One example of a successful public-private partnership is the Anti-Phishing Working Group, APWG. This global coalition brings together industry leaders, government agencies, and law enforcement to combat phishing attacks, which often serve as a gateway for scam calls. By sharing intelligence and collaborating on initiatives, the APWG has made significant strides in reducing the impact of phishing and related scams. In conclusion, collaborative efforts are essential in the fight against scam calls. Governments, law enforcement agencies, telecommunications companies, and individuals must work together to develop strategies, share information, and implement technologies that can effectively combat scam calls. By combining their resources and expertise, these stakeholders can create a united front against scammers and protect consumers from falling victim to fraudulent activities. 12.3 Regulatory changes and policy updates. As the battle against scam calls continues, regulatory bodies and policymakers are constantly working to implement changes and updates to combat this growing problem. In this section, we will explore some of the regulatory changes and policy updates that have been introduced to address the issue of scam calls. 12.3.1 Strengthening caller ID authentication. One of the key areas where regulatory changes have been made is in strengthening caller ID authentication. Caller ID spoofing has been a common technique used by scammers to deceive victims into answering their calls. To tackle this issue, regulatory bodies have implemented stricter rules and regulations for telecommunications service providers. In recent years, there has been a push for the implementation of the STIR framework, which stands for Secure Telephone Identity Revisited (STIR) and signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens (SHAKEN). This framework aims to verify the authenticity of caller ID information by digitally signing calls and ensuring that they cannot be tampered with during transit. Telecommunications service providers are now required to implement STIR protocols to authenticate and verify the caller ID information. This helps to ensure that the displayed caller ID is accurate and trustworthy, making it easier for individuals to identify and avoid scam calls. 12.3.2 Robocall mitigation efforts. Robocalls have become a significant nuisance for individuals around the world. To address this issue, regulatory bodies have introduced policies and regulations to mitigate the impact of robocalls and reduce their frequency. In the United States, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has taken several steps to combat robocalls. They have implemented rules that require telecommunications service providers to implement call blocking technology and provide consumers with free tools to block unwanted calls. Additionally, the FCC has encouraged the development and deployment of call authentication technologies like STIR/SHAKEN. Similar efforts have been made in other countries as well. Regulatory bodies have mandated the implementation of call blocking technologies and have worked with telecommunications service providers to develop solutions to identify and block robocalls. These regulatory changes aim to reduce the number of unwanted calls and protect individuals from falling victim to scams. 12.3.3 International cooperation and information sharing. Scam calls are not limited by geographical boundaries, and scammers often operate across multiple countries. To effectively combat scam calls, international cooperation and information sharing are crucial. Regulatory bodies and law enforcement agencies from different countries are working together to share information and coordinate efforts to tackle the global issue of scam calls. This includes sharing intelligence on scam call networks, collaborating on investigations, and exchanging best practices for scam call prevention. International organizations, such as the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and the International Consumer Protection and Enforcement Network, ICPEN, play a vital role in facilitating this cooperation. They provide platforms for regulatory bodies and law enforcement agencies to come together, share knowledge, and develop strategies to combat scam calls on a global scale. 12.3.4 Strengthening legal frameworks. To effectively address the issue of scam calls, it is essential to have strong legal frameworks in place. Regulatory bodies and policymakers are continuously working to update and strengthen existing laws to provide better protection to individuals and hold scammers accountable for their actions. These legal frameworks encompass various aspects, including stricter penalties for scammers, enhanced consumer protection measures, and regulations for telecommunications service providers to ensure their compliance in combating scam calls. Additionally, there is a growing recognition of the need for international legal frameworks to address cross-border scam call operations. Efforts are being made to establish agreements and treaties between countries to facilitate cooperation in investigating and prosecuting scammers operating across borders. 12.3.5 Public awareness and education campaigns. Regulatory bodies and policymakers understand the importance of public awareness and education in combating scam calls. They have launched extensive campaigns to educate individuals about the risks associated with scam calls and provide them with the necessary knowledge and tools to protect themselves. These campaigns aim to raise awareness about different types of scam calls, common techniques used by scammers, and the steps individuals can take to avoid falling victim to scams. They also provide information on how to report scam calls and seek assistance from regulatory bodies and law enforcement agencies. Through these public awareness and education campaigns, individuals are empowered to recognize and respond to scam calls effectively. By equipping the public with knowledge, regulatory bodies and policymakers hope to create a more informed and vigilant society that can collectively combat scam calls. In conclusion, regulatory changes and policy updates play a crucial role in the fight against scam calls. Strengthening caller ID authentication, mitigating robocalls, promoting international cooperation, strengthening legal frameworks, and conducting public awareness campaigns are all essential components of a comprehensive strategy to control scam calls. By implementing these changes and updates, regulatory bodies and policymakers aim to create a safer and scam-free future for individuals around the world. 12.4 Building a scam-free future. As technology continues to advance, so do the tactics and techniques used by scam callers. However, there is hope for a scam-free future. In this section, we will explore some strategies and initiatives that can help us build a future where scam calls are no longer a threat. 12.4.1 Collaboration and partnerships. One of the key aspects of building a scam-free future is collaboration and partnerships among various stakeholders. This includes government agencies, law enforcement, telecommunications companies, technology providers, and the general public. By working together, we can create a united front against scam callers. Government agencies play a crucial role in implementing regulations and policies to protect consumers from scam calls. They can work closely with telecommunications companies to develop and enforce stricter guidelines for call authentication and identification. By sharing information and resources, they can stay one step ahead of scammers and take swift action against them. Law enforcement agencies also play a vital role in combating scam calls. They can work in collaboration with telecom companies to track down and prosecute scammers. By sharing intelligence and coordinating efforts, they can dismantle scam call networks and bring the perpetrators to justice. Telecommunications companies have a responsibility to protect their customers from scam calls. They can invest in advanced call blocking technologies and implement stricter authentication protocols to verify the legitimacy of calls. By working together with other stakeholders, they can create a safer environment for their customers. Technology providers can contribute to building a scam-free future by developing innovative solutions to detect and block scam calls. Artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms can be employed to analyze call patterns and identify potential scam calls. By continuously improving these technologies, we can stay ahead of scammers and protect consumers. 12.4.2 Public Awareness and Education. Another crucial aspect of building a scam-free future is public awareness and education. It is essential to educate individuals about the various types of scam calls, their techniques, and how to protect themselves from falling victim to these scams. Public awareness campaigns can be conducted through various channels, including television, radio, social media, and community events. These campaigns can provide information about the latest scam call trends, common techniques used by scammers, and tips to avoid becoming a victim. By raising awareness, individuals can become more vigilant and better equipped to identify and avoid scam calls. Educational programs can be implemented in schools and community centers to teach children and young adults about scam calls. By educating the younger generation, we can create a future where individuals are more aware of the risks and can protect themselves from scams. Furthermore, workshops and seminars can be organized to provide in-depth knowledge about scam calls and prevention strategies. These events can bring together experts, law enforcement officials, and victims to share their experiences and insights. By learning from each other, we can collectively build a scam-free future. 12.4.3 Technological Innovations. Technological innovations play a significant role in building a scam-free future. As scammers become more sophisticated, we need advanced technologies to counter their tactics effectively. Call blocking apps and services have already proven to be effective in reducing the number of scam calls received by individuals. These apps use databases of known scam numbers and block them automatically. By leveraging these technologies, individuals can have greater control over the calls they receive and minimize the risk of falling victim to scams. Caller ID authentication is another technological solution that can help combat scam calls. By implementing stricter authentication protocols, telecom companies can verify the legitimacy of calls and prevent spoofing. This technology can significantly reduce the number of scam calls reaching individuals' phones. Artificial intelligence (AI) has the potential to revolutionize scam call detection. AI algorithms can analyze call patterns, voice characteristics, and other data points to identify potential scam calls. By continuously learning and adapting, AI-powered systems can stay ahead of scammers and provide better protection to individuals. Looking ahead, future innovations in scam call control may include the use of blockchain technology to create a secure and transparent call authentication system. Additionally, advancements in voice recognition technology may enable individuals to verify the identity of callers more accurately. 12.4.4 Regulatory Changes and Policy Updates. Regulatory changes and policy updates are essential in building a scam-free future. Governments need to adapt to the evolving landscape of scam calls and implement stricter regulations to protect consumers. Regulations can be put in place to require telecom companies to implement call authentication protocols and provide better call blocking services. Governments can also work with international authorities to establish a global framework for combating scam calls. By harmonizing regulations and sharing information, we can create a more effective defense against scammers. Policy updates can also focus on holding scammers accountable for their actions. Stricter penalties and enforcement measures can act as a deterrent and discourage scammers from engaging in fraudulent activities. By making scam calls less profitable and riskier for scammers, we can reduce their prevalence. In conclusion, building a scam-free future requires collaboration, public awareness, technological innovations, and regulatory changes. By working together and staying vigilant, we can create an environment where scam calls are no longer a threat. With the right strategies and initiatives in place, we can build a future where individuals can confidently answer their phones without the fear of falling victim to scams.